What are the most sustainable and futuristic battery systems? This sits right at the intersection of sustainability, energy systems, and future civilization design, which aligns strongly with your long-term interest in regenerative and planetary scale solutions. Here is a comprehensive overview of the most sustainable and futuristic battery systems, organized by their materials, performance, environmental impact, and long-term scalability. Solid-state batteries. What they are. Solid-state batteries replace the liquid electrolyte in conventional lithium-ion batteries with a solid electrolyte. Why they are futuristic. Much higher energy density, longer range, smaller size, extremely safe, non-flammable, faster charging, longer lifespan, wider operating temperature range. Sustainability advantages. Reduced fire risk means fewer toxic incidents, longer lifespan reduces waste, can use less cobalt, or eliminate it entirely. Challenges. Manufacturing complexity, interface stability between layers, currently expensive. Best uses. Electric vehicles, aviation, consumer electronics, space applications. Sodium-ion batteries. What they are. These batteries replace lithium with sodium, which is far more abundant and easier to source sustainably. Why they are sustainable. Sodium is extremely abundant, seawater, salt deposits, no need for rare metals like cobalt or nickel. Lower environmental and social mining impacts. Performance. Lower energy density than lithium-ion, very stable, good for stationary storage. Best uses. Grid-scale energy storage, off-grid systems, renewable buffering. Iron-air batteries. What they are. These batteries store energy using iron oxidation and reduction, essentially controlled rusting and derusting. Why they revolutionary. Extremely low-cost materials can store energy for days or weeks, ideal for renewable baseload storage. Sustainability benefits. Iron is abundant and recyclable, no toxic heavy metals, very long lifespan. Limitations. Low energy density, not suitable for mobile applications. Best uses. Great storage, seasonal energy storage, backup power for cities. Lithium-sulfur batteries. What they are. They replace heavy metal cathodes with sulfur. Why they are futuristic. Extremely high theoretical energy density, very lightweight, lower cost materials. Sustainability advantages. Sulfur is abundant and often a waste byproduct, reduced need for rare metals. Challenges. Shorter cycle life, polysulfide shuttling issues, stability problems. Best uses. Drones, electric aircraft, space applications. Organic and polymer batteries. What they are. These use carbon-based, bio-derived, or synthetic organic molecules instead of metal-based electrodes. Why they are sustainable. Can be made from renewable biomass, easily recyclable, low toxicity, lightweight and flexible. Performance. Lower energy density, currently, rapid charge discharge, very long cycle life. Best uses. Wearables, IoT devices, medical implants, flexible electronics. Flow batteries, vanadium, organic, iron-based. What they are. Energy is stored in liquid electrolytes in tanks, not inside solid cells. Why they are ideal for the future grid. Easily scalable, extremely long lifespan, 20 to 40 years, can be fully discharged without damage. Sustainability benefits. Fully recyclable, no degradation like lithium-ion, can use organic or iron-based electrolytes. Limitations. Large and heavy, lower energy density. Best uses. City-scale energy storage, microgrids, renewable buffering. Structural batteries. What they are. These batteries are embedded into materials like car frames, building panels, or aircraft wings. Why they are futuristic. The battery becomes part of the structure, reduces total material usage, improves energy efficiency. Sustainability advantages. Less material redundancy, lighter vehicles equals less energy use. Best uses. Electric vehicles, aircraft, drones, buildings. Nuclear batteries, betavoltaics and radioisotope batteries. What they are. They generate electricity from radioactive decay. Why they are futuristic. Can last decades, no recharging needed, extremely reliable. Sustainability context. Not renewable but extremely long-lived, minimal resource use per energy output. Best uses. Space probes, deep ocean sensors, remote installations. Quantum and exotic concepts. Long-term future. These are still theoretical or experimental. Examples. Quantum dot batteries, graphene supercapacitor hybrids, diamond nuclear batteries, photon-based energy storage, antimatter energy traps. Extremely speculative. These would enable near-infinite lifespans, ultra-fast charging, extreme energy density. The most sustainable path forward at a system level. The future will not rely on a single battery type. Instead, it will use an ecosystem of storage technologies, each optimized for its role. Application: best battery type, phones and laptops, solid state, sodium-ion electric vehicles, solid state, lithium-sulfur, city grids, flow batteries, iron-air off-grid villages, sodium-ion, iron-air wearables, organic batteries, drones and aircraft, lithium-sulfur, space and deep-sea nuclear batteries. Regenerative battery economy. To truly be sustainable, future batteries must use abundant materials, avoid toxic elements, be fully recyclable, have very long lifespans, be locally manufacturable, integrate with circular economies, support decentralized energy systems. How batteries can be grown from biological systems. This is a fascinating and very real frontier of science. Batteries grown from biological systems are not science fiction. They are emerging through bioelectrochemistry, biomaterials, synthetic biology, and microbial engineering. What does it mean to grow a battery? A conventional battery is manufactured from mined metals, refined chemicals, and industrial processes. A biologically grown battery instead uses living organisms, biomolecules, self-assembling structures, metabolic energy flows, bio-derived conductive materials. These systems grow, self-repair, reproduce, and biodegrade, just like living tissue. Instead of being built, they are cultivated. Microbial batteries, microbial fuel cells. How they work. Certain bacteria naturally transfer electrons outside their cells during metabolism. They eat organic matter, sugars, waste, plant exudates, break it down, release electrons, transfer those electrons to conductive surfaces. This creates usable electricity. Examples: Geobacter, Schwannella, Rhodophorax. These microbes grow biofilms on electrodes, forming living power systems. Sustainability benefits: run on waste, soil nutrients, or plant sugars, no toxic metals, self-repairing, operate at ambient temperatures, fully biodegradable. Current uses: wastewater-powered sensors, soil-powered devices, low-power environmental monitoring, plant-based electricity systems. Plants naturally generate electrical potentials. How this works: plants produce sugars via photosynthesis, exude carbohydrates through roots, feed soil microbes. Microbes release electrons. Electrodes capture them. This creates a plant micro power system. Example: a living tree could generate power, store charge, self-repair, grow bigger equals more capacity. This is the beginning of living power infrastructure. Organic molecule batteries. Many organic molecules can reversibly gain and lose electrons. This is the essence of a battery. Examples: quinones found in plants, flavins, melanin, lignin derivatives, humic acids. These can act as electroactive materials. Why this is revolutionary: they can be grown from plants, synthesized by microbes, extracted from biomass, biodegradable, non-toxic. This enables compostable batteries. Mycelium-based battery structures. Fungal mycelium can be grown into any shape. Mycelium can be structurally strong, lightweight, fire-resistant, biodegradable, porous, molded. When combined with conductive polymers, carbonized fibers, biochar, graphene-like biocarbons, you get living or semi-living battery housings and electrodes. Future example: imagine walls that store energy, furniture that stores charge, tree-like structures that function as power banks, buildings grown, not built. Biologically grown electrodes. Electrodes are usually made from mined metals, but biology can produce conductive materials. Examples: bacterial nanowires, fungal conductive filaments, carbonized plant fibers, biochar, cellulose-derived carbons. These can replace graphite, carbon black, some metal-based conductors. Protein-based and DNA-based energy storage. Some proteins naturally transport electrons. Others act like molecular switches. Future concepts: protein-based redox systems, DNA-based charge storage, biopolymer supercapacitors. These could allow ultra-dense storage, self-assembling circuits, molecular-scale energy storage. Photosynthetic batteries. Photosynthesis is already a solar energy storage system. Plants store sunlight as chemical energy. Scientists are now extracting photosynthetic proteins, embedding them into electrodes, using them to generate currents, storing solar energy biologically. Living supercapacitors. Some organisms can store and release charge rapidly. Examples: electric eels, certain jellyfish, specialized cells in plants. Synthetic biology can mimic this behavior. Self-healing batteries. Living systems heal themselves. Future biological batteries could repair cracks, regrow electrodes, restore lost capacity, adapt to conditions, reproduce modules. Fully grown battery life cycle. A future biological battery might work like this: seeds are planted, structures grow, microbes colonize them, conductive tissues form, energy storage emerges, capacity increases with growth. Old parts compost, new growth replaces them. No mining, no toxic waste, no factories. Why this matters for planetary sustainability. Biological batteries would eliminate toxic mining, replace rare metals, enable local production, be carbon negative, integrate into ecosystems, support regenerative civilizations. This fits perfectly into your concept of a regenerative, rainforest-like technological civilization where infrastructure grows, energy flows biologically, cities function like forests, technology becomes ecological, waste becomes input, systems self-heal. What it means to grow a battery from a biological system. To grow a battery from a biological system means to create an energy storage or energy generating device using living organisms, biological materials, or biologically derived structures instead of mined metals, toxic chemicals, and industrially refined components. In conventional batteries, humans extract raw materials, chemically refine them, assemble them in factories, and discard them as waste. In contrast, biological batteries rely on the natural abilities of organisms to self-assemble, self-repair, reproduce, and decompose safely. In these systems, the battery is not simply manufactured, it is cultivated. This cultivation can involve bacteria forming electrically active biofilms, plants supplying sugars to microbial power systems, fungi growing structural frameworks, or organic molecules from biomass acting as charge carriers. The result is a power system that behaves more like a living ecosystem than a mechanical device. Microbial fuel cells, living power generators. One of the most established examples of biologically grown batteries is the microbial fuel cell. Certain bacteria naturally release electrons as part of their metabolic processes. When these bacteria digest organic matter, such as sugars, plant waste, or sewage, they break chemical bonds and release electrons as a byproduct. In a microbial fuel cell, these electrons are captured by an electrode instead of being lost to the environment. The bacteria form a living biofilm on the electrode's surface, and this biofilm continuously transfers electrons into an external circuit. As long as the microbes have food in a suitable environment, they will keep producing electricity. This type of battery is sustainable because it uses abundant organic waste as fuel, produces no toxic byproducts, and can self-repair by growing new bacterial cells. If part of the system is damaged, the bacteria simply regrow. This creates a form of living energy infrastructure. Plant microbe energy systems. Plants are already natural solar energy converters. Through photosynthesis, they transform sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water into sugars. Some of these sugars are released through the roots into the surrounding soil. This process feeds soil microbes. When these microbes metabolize the sugars, they release electrons. By placing electrodes in the soil near plant roots, it becomes possible to harvest this flow of electrons. In this way, plants and microbes form a symbiotic energy system. The plant captures solar energy, the microbes process it, and the electrodes collect the resulting electrical charge. Such systems could allow living plants to function as small-scale power generators. A forest, garden, or agricultural field could become a distributed power station that simultaneously produces food, oxygen, and electricity. Organic molecules as battery materials. Many molecules found in nature can reversibly gain and lose electrons. This ability, known as redox activity, is the fundamental principle behind all batteries. In conventional batteries, metals such as lithium, cobalt, and nickel perform this function. In biological systems, however, organic molecules can perform the same role. Examples of naturally electroactive molecules include quinones, flavins, melanin, and humic acids. These compounds can be derived from plants, fungi, and microbes. When used as battery materials, they can store and release electrical charge repeatedly. The advantage of organic molecules is that they can be grown through agriculture, fermentation, or microbial cultivation. They are biodegradable, non-toxic, and easily recyclable. This makes them ideal for future compostable and regenerative energy storage systems. Fungal and mycelium-based battery structures. Fungi produce mycelium, which is a vast network of microscopic filaments that forms the structural body of the organism. Mycelium is incredibly strong, lightweight, flexible, and biodegradable. It can be grown into specific shapes using molds, making it an ideal biological construction material. When mycelium is combined with conductive substances such as biochar, carbonized plant fibers, or biologically derived conductive polymers, it can become part of an energy storage system. Mycelium can act as the structural framework of a battery, while organic molecules or microbes provide the electrochemical activity. This approach allows batteries to be grown into walls, furniture, or architectural elements. A building could contain living or semi-living energy storage systems that grow, repair themselves, and eventually decompose safely back into the ecosystem. Biologically grown electrodes. Electrodes are essential components of any battery, but they are traditionally made from mined materials such as graphite, copper, or rare metals. Biology, however, can produce conductive materials naturally. Certain bacteria form nanowires that conduct electricity. Some fungi produce filamentous networks that can be engineered for conductivity. Plants can be converted into biochar, which is a stable, carbon-rich, and conductive material. Cellulose fibers can also be carbonized to form electrode structures. These biological electrodes are renewable, biodegradable, and locally producible. They eliminate the need for destructive mining and allow energy systems to be built from agricultural and ecological waste. Protein-based and DNA-based energy storage. At the molecular level, some proteins are capable of transporting electrons with high efficiency. These proteins are already used in nature for respiration, photosynthesis, and metabolism. Scientists are now studying how these natural electron transport systems can be repurposed for artificial energy storage. In the future, it may be possible to use engineered proteins or DNA-like molecules to store electrical charge in extremely compact and efficient ways. These systems could self-assemble, self-repair, and function at the nanoscale. Such molecular batteries could be grown inside biological tissues or cultured like microorganisms, opening the door to living electronics. Photosynthetic energy storage. Photosynthesis is already a biological energy storage system. Plants store solar energy in chemical bonds. Researchers are now attempting to integrate photosynthetic proteins directly into artificial devices so that sunlight can be converted into electrical charge without the need for silicon solar panels. By embedding these proteins into electrodes, scientists can create living or semi-living solar batteries that directly convert light into stored electrical energy. This approach eliminates many of the material and manufacturing problems associated with conventional photovoltaics. Self-healing and regenerating batteries. One of the greatest advantages of biological systems is their ability to heal themselves. If a tree branch breaks, it regrows. If a fungal network is damaged, it repairs itself. Future biological batteries could do the same. A self-healing battery would regrow damaged electrodes, repair internal cracks, replace degraded molecules, and maintain performance indefinitely. Instead of replacing batteries every few years, societies could maintain living energy systems that function for decades or centuries. The life cycle of a grown battery. A fully developed biological battery system might follow a natural life cycle. It would begin as a seed, spore, or microbial culture. It would grow into a functional energy storage structure. It would mature and increase in capacity as it grows. If damaged, it would heal. When it eventually becomes inefficient, it would biodegrade and return its nutrients to the ecosystem. This eliminates waste entirely. Nothing is discarded. Everything becomes food for something else. Why biological batteries matter for the future. Biological batteries offer a radically different relationship between technology and nature. They eliminate toxic mining, reduce industrial pollution, enable local manufacturing, and integrate seamlessly into ecosystems. Instead of cities that extract resources from distant regions, future cities could grow their own energy systems. Instead of toxic landfills, old batteries would compost. Instead of fragile supply chains, energy infrastructure would be self-renewing. Integration with a regenerative civilization. In a truly sustainable civilization, technology would function like an ecosystem. Energy would flow through living networks. Buildings would grow. Infrastructure would heal. Waste would become nourishment. Production would be decentralized, regenerative, and symbiotic with nature. Biological batteries are a crucial step toward this future. They allow energy storage to become ecological rather than extractive. How living technology could replace industrial systems. What is living technology? Living technology refers to systems that are grown rather than manufactured, that self-assemble rather than being mechanically assembled, and that self-repair, adapt, and evolve rather than degrade and fail. These systems are inspired by or directly built from biological organisms such as plants, fungi, bacteria, algae, and engineered cells. Unlike industrial systems, which rely on extraction, refinement, assembly, and disposal, living technologies follow the same principles as ecosystems. They grow using sunlight, water, and nutrients. They integrate with their surroundings. They recycle all waste internally. They continuously regenerate. They become stronger over time instead of weaker. Living technology is not anti-technology. It is a higher form of technology, one that behaves like life itself. Why industrial systems are fundamentally unsustainable. Industrial systems are based on linear processes. Resources are extracted, processed, transported, assembled, used, and discarded. This linearity creates pollution, waste, ecological collapse, and social instability. Industrial systems depend on rare materials, centralized factories, fragile global supply chains, and continuous resource depletion. They require massive energy inputs and generate toxic byproducts that ecosystems cannot safely absorb. In contrast, living systems operate in closed loops. Every output becomes an input for something else. Nothing is wasted. Everything cycles. For living technology to replace industrial systems, it must replace these linear processes with circular, regenerative, and self-sustaining ones. How living systems already perform industrial functions. Nature already performs nearly every function that industrial systems attempt to replicate. Plants manufacture complex polymers stronger than steel at room temperature. Fungi create vast underground networks that transport nutrients like supply chains. Bacteria refine metals, purify water, and synthesize chemicals. Trees build massive structural forms using carbon from the air. Coral reefs construct mineral cities underwater without factories. Ecosystems are not primitive. They are hyper-advanced distributed manufacturing systems. Living technology simply means learning how to guide, shape, and integrate these processes intentionally. Living manufacturing, growing instead of building. In industrial systems, products are assembled from parts. In living systems, structures grow from within. Instead of manufacturing concrete, future cities could grow mineralized coral-like structures from microbes that precipitate limestone. Instead of steel beams, we could grow dense wood composites that self-align their fibers for maximum strength. Instead of plastic, we could grow fungal biopolymers that are flexible, waterproof, and biodegradable. A living factory is not a building with machines. It is a field, a forest, a reef, or a microbial culture. Production becomes agriculture, not industry. Living energy systems. Industrial energy systems rely on mining, combustion, and centralized grids. Living energy systems would rely on photosynthesis, microbial metabolism, biochemical storage, and distributed generation. Trees could become vertical solar collectors. Algae could produce liquid fuels. Fungal networks could store energy chemically. Bacteria could generate electricity directly. Instead of massive power plants, energy would be generated everywhere, on walls, in soil, in water, inside buildings. Energy infrastructure would grow like a forest. Living materials. Industrial materials are static. Living materials are dynamic. A living wall could thicken when structural load increases. A living road could heal its cracks. A living fabric could adapt its insulation based on temperature. A living building could grow new rooms. These materials could be grown from mycelium, plant cellulose, bacterial cellulose, spider silk proteins, or mineral-forming microbes. Instead of replacing damaged materials, they would regenerate. Living architecture and infrastructure. Future cities could be grown instead of constructed. Buildings could be grown from trees shaped into structural forms. Mycelium could form insulation, walls, and support networks. Bacteria could mineralize foundations. Vines could form adaptive facades. Pipes could be replaced by vascular networks similar to plant veins. Roads could be replaced by route-like transport corridors. Cooling systems could be replaced by transpiration-based designs inspired by forests. Infrastructure would become ecological. Living transportation systems. Industrial transportation systems are based on heavy materials, fossil fuels, and massive energy consumption. Living systems move efficiently using growth, buoyancy, osmosis, and muscle-like fibers. Future transportation could use bio-grown composites lighter than aluminum, biofuels produced by algae, or even living vehicles that adapt shape and structure. Even cities themselves could become mobile, floating on bio-grown platforms or migrating slowly with ecosystems. Living electronics and computing. Living systems process information extremely efficiently. DNA stores more data per gram than any known digital medium. Neural tissue performs massively parallel processing. Fungal networks distribute information across kilometers. Living electronics could use proteins, organic molecules, and neural-like networks to compute, store memory, and self-repair. This would eliminate the need for toxic semiconductors and rare metals. Living waste management. In industrial systems, waste is a problem. In living systems, waste is food. Everything that dies becomes nourishment for something else. Dead leaves become soil. Fallen trees become habitats. Animal waste becomes fertilizer. Living technology would eliminate the concept of trash. All products would be biodegradable, edible by microbes, or reusable by ecosystems. Landfills would become obsolete. Living medicine and healthcare. Industrial medicine treats symptoms. Living medicine would restore biological balance. Tissues could regrow. Organs could be printed using living cells. Microbiomes could be engineered to prevent disease. Immune systems could be trained rather than suppressed. Hospitals would become regenerative environments rather than mechanical repair centers. Living economics. Industrial economies are extractive. Living economies are regenerative. Value would be measured by how much life a system creates, not how much it extracts. A healthy forest would be considered infrastructure. A wetland would be considered a water purification plant. A coral reef would be considered a city. Growth would be ecological, not financial. Living technology and civilization design. A civilization based on living technology would look more like a rainforest than a factory. Energy would flow like sap. Information would move like neural signals. Transportation would resemble circulatory systems. Buildings would grow. Cities would photosynthesize. Infrastructure would heal. This is not primitive. It is hyper-advanced. Why this is inevitable? Industrial systems are collapsing because they violate the laws of ecology. No system can survive by destroying its own life support structure. Living systems have survived for billions of years. They are the only known sustainable technology. If humanity wishes to become a long-lived civilization, it must transition from mechanical dominance to biological partnership. The end of the industrial era. The industrial era was necessary to develop science, engineering, and global connectivity. However, it is not the final form of civilization. The next stage is the biological era. In this era, technology becomes alive. How living technology could replace industrial systems. Modern industrial systems have brought extraordinary advancements in transportation, medicine, construction, and communication. However, these systems are fundamentally unsustainable. They depend on the extraction of finite resources, produce massive amounts of waste, degrade ecosystems, and destabilize the climate. As human civilization grows, these flaws become increasingly destructive. The industrial model is linear, meaning it takes resources from the earth, processes them into goods, and discards them as pollution. This process is incompatible with long-term planetary survival. Living technology offers a radically different approach. Instead of relying on extraction, mechanical assembly, and disposal, living technology is based on biological processes such as growth, self-repair, adaptation, and regeneration. Living systems have sustained themselves for billions of years without collapsing the ecosystems that support them. By learning to integrate technological functions into living systems, humanity could replace industrial systems with ones that are circular, regenerative, and symbiotic with nature. This essay explains how living technology could replace industrial systems, why this transition is necessary, and how it could transform energy, manufacturing, infrastructure, cities, economies, and civilization itself. The fundamental difference between industrial and living systems. Industrial systems are designed around machines. Machines degrade with use, require constant maintenance, and eventually fail. They do not heal themselves, reproduce, or adapt. Industrial production depends on centralized factories, long supply chains, rare materials, and high energy inputs. Living systems, by contrast, are self-organizing. A tree does not need a factory to build itself. It draws carbon from the air, minerals from the soil, and energy from sunlight. It repairs damage, adapts to its environment, and reproduces. Waste in a living system does not exist in the conventional sense. Every byproduct becomes food for another organism. Living technology applies these biological principles to human-made systems. Instead of constructing static objects, humanity would cultivate dynamic, regenerative systems. Instead of consuming resources, it would circulate them. Instead of producing waste, it would produce nutrients. Living manufacturing, growing instead of building. One of the most profound changes living technology would bring is the replacement of industrial manufacturing with biological growth. In industrial systems, products are assembled from processed parts using machines. This requires mining, smelting, chemical refinement, and transportation. In living systems, structures grow from within. Their materials are assembled at the molecular level using ambient temperature, sunlight, and local nutrients. For example, instead of manufacturing concrete, future civilizations could use bacteria that naturally precipitate limestone, forming stone-like structures. Instead of producing plastic, they could grow flexible, waterproof biopolymers from fungi or algae. Instead of forging steel beams, they could cultivate dense wood composites whose fibers self-align for maximum strength. Factories would become farms, forests, coral reefs, or microbial cultivation centers. Production would no longer be extractive, it would be regenerative. Living energy systems. Industrial energy systems rely on fossil fuels, nuclear fission, and centralized grids. These systems require massive infrastructure, constant fuel inputs, and create dangerous waste or emissions. Living energy systems would be decentralized, biological, and renewable. Plants already convert sunlight into chemical energy through photosynthesis. Microbes can generate electricity directly by transferring electrons during metabolism. Algae can produce liquid fuels. Fungal networks can store energy chemically. Instead of massive power plants, energy would be produced everywhere, on rooftops, in walls, in soil, and in water. Buildings could photosynthesize. Roads could harvest energy from microbial activity. Trees could function as living solar collectors. Energy infrastructure would grow like a forest rather than being constructed like a factory. Living materials and self-healing structures. Industrial materials are static. When they crack, rust, or degrade, they must be replaced. This leads to enormous waste and constant resource extraction. Living materials would be dynamic. They would sense damage, redirect nutrients, and repair themselves. A living wall could thicken where stress increases. A living road could regrow its surface. A living building could adapt its insulation based on seasonal changes. These materials could be made from mycelium, bacterial cellulose, plant fibers, or engineered proteins. Instead of being inert, they would be biologically active. This shift would dramatically reduce maintenance costs, eliminate most construction waste, and create structures that improve with age rather than decay. Living architecture and infrastructure. In a living technological civilization, buildings would not be assembled from dead materials. They would be grown. Trees could be shaped into structural forms as they grow. Mycelium could form insulation, walls, and structural frameworks. Bacteria could mineralize foundations. Vines and mosses could form adaptive facades that regulate temperature and humidity. Infrastructure would resemble biological circulatory systems. Instead of pipes, there would be vascular networks. Instead of mechanical cooling systems, buildings would use transpiration like leaves. Instead of rigid designs, structures would adapt over time. Cities would behave like ecosystems rather than machines. Living transportation systems. Modern transportation systems are heavy, energy-intensive, and polluting. Living technology could replace these systems with lighter, more efficient, and regenerative alternatives. Vehicles could be built from bio-grown composites that are stronger than steel but lighter than aluminum. Biofuels produced by algae could replace fossil fuels. Some future transport systems might even be semi-living, using muscle-like fibers and adaptive tissues. Even cities themselves could become mobile on slow timescales, floating on biologically grown platforms or migrating gradually with ecosystems. Transportation would become an extension of biology rather than an assault on it. Living electronics and computing. Modern electronics rely on rare metals, toxic chemicals, and enormous energy inputs. They are difficult to recycle and create dangerous waste. Living systems already perform computation, memory storage, and signal processing with incredible efficiency. DNA stores vast amounts of information. Neural networks process data in parallel. Fungal networks transmit signals across kilometers. Future computing systems could use organic molecules, proteins, and biological networks instead of silicon. These systems could self-repair, grow, and biodegrade safely. Computers would no longer be dead objects. They would be living systems. Living waste management. In industrial systems, waste is a problem. In living systems, waste is nourishment. Everything that dies in nature becomes food for something else. Fallen leaves become soil. Dead animals feed microbes. Even toxins are broken down by specialized organisms. Living technology would eliminate landfills. Every product would be biodegradable, compostable, or reintegrated into biological cycles. Wastewater would become fertilizer. Air pollution would become food for engineered microbes. Plastics would be replaced by biopolymers that safely decompose. The concept of trash would disappear. Living medicine and healthcare. Industrial medicine treats the body like a machine, repairing parts rather than restoring ecological balance. Living medicine would work with the body's natural regenerative systems. Tissues could be regrown, organs could be cultivated, microbiomes could be engineered to prevent disease, immune systems could be trained rather than suppressed. Hospitals would become living environments designed to promote regeneration rather than sterile repair centers. Living economics. Industrial economies measure success by extraction, consumption, and profit. Living economies would measure success by regeneration, resilience, and ecological health. A forest would be considered infrastructure. A wetland would be considered a water treatment plant. A coral reef would be considered a city. Wealth would be measured in life created, not resources consumed. Civilization as a living system. A civilization based on living technology would look more like a rainforest than a factory. Energy would flow like sap. Information would move like neural signals. Transportation would resemble circulatory systems. Buildings would grow. Infrastructure would heal. This would not be a return to primitivism. It would be the most advanced form of technology humanity has ever known. Industrial systems were a necessary stage in human development. They allowed humanity to master physics, chemistry, and engineering. However, they are not sustainable. They are collapsing under their own waste, pollution, and resource demands. Living technology offers a new path. It replaces extraction with growth, waste with cycles, fragility with resilience, and destruction with regeneration. The future of civilization is not mechanical, it is biological. If humanity wishes to survive for millennia rather than centuries, it must become a living civilization. Living global energy systems. How biology could power a regenerative civilization. Modern civilization depends on vast industrial energy systems that extract, burn, split, and consume finite resources. Fossil fuels, nuclear reactors, and large-scale centralized power plants dominate the global energy landscape. While these systems have enabled technological growth, they have also destabilized Earth's climate, polluted ecosystems, and created fragile supply chains. Industrial energy systems are fundamentally extractive, linear, and ecologically destructive. Living global energy systems offer a radically different approach. Instead of relying on combustion, mining, and mechanical infrastructure, these systems would be based on biological processes such as photosynthesis, microbial metabolism, biochemical storage, growth, adaptation, and regeneration. They would not merely generate energy but would integrate seamlessly into ecosystems, becoming part of Earth's living fabric. This essay explores what living global energy systems are, how they would function, and how they could replace industrial energy infrastructure while restoring planetary health. The difference between industrial and living energy systems. Industrial energy systems are based on force. They rely on extreme temperatures, pressures, and chemical reactions that are inherently destructive. Fossil fuels require combustion. Nuclear systems rely on radioactive decay. Even conventional renewables, such as solar panels and wind turbines, depend on mining, rare metals, and industrial manufacturing. Living energy systems operate differently. Life does not burn itself to function. Instead, it captures, transforms, stores, and distributes energy through gentle, efficient biochemical processes. Photosynthesis converts sunlight into sugar. Cells store energy in molecular bonds. Fungi transport nutrients across kilometers. Trees pump water upward without pumps. No explosions, no toxic waste, no catastrophic failure modes. Living energy systems would not dominate nature. They would cooperate with it. Photosynthesis is the foundation of living energy. Photosynthesis is the most successful energy system in Earth's history. For over 3 billion years, it has captured sunlight, converted it into chemical energy, and supported nearly all complex life. A living global energy system would use photosynthesis as its foundation, but in more advanced, engineered forms. Plants, algae, and cyanobacteria could be optimized to produce energy-rich molecules, electrical currents, or hydrogen-like fuels. Instead of covering land with silicon panels, cities could be covered with photosynthetic surfaces. Buildings could grow living skins that harvest sunlight. Roads, walls, and rooftops could all become energy-harvesting tissues. Energy generation would become biologically embedded in the environment. Microbial power networks. Some microbes naturally release electrons during metabolism. These organisms can be used in microbial fuel cells, which convert organic matter directly into electricity. On a global scale, this could allow energy generation from compost, wastewater, agricultural residues, forest litter, and even ocean sediments. Instead of waste being a problem, it would become a fuel source. Entire sewer systems could double as power plants. Wetlands could generate electricity while purifying water. Agricultural fields could produce both food and energy. These systems would be decentralized, self-repairing, and biodegradable. Living energy storage. Energy generation alone is not enough. Civilization requires storage. Industrial systems use lithium batteries, pumped hydro, and compressed gas. These methods are resource-intensive and environmentally damaging. Living systems already store energy efficiently. Plants store sugars, starches, and oils. Animals store fat. Fungi store glycogen. Seeds store energy for years. Future living energy systems would use biological storage molecules, such as engineered sugars, oils, and redox-active compounds. These could function like batteries but would be biodegradable, non-toxic, and self-repairing. Forests could act as seasonal energy storage systems. Algae tanks could function like biological batteries. Underground fungal networks could distribute stored energy. Storage would become organic, not mechanical. Global energy distribution through living networks. Industrial grids rely on massive metal transmission lines, centralized control, and vulnerable infrastructure. Living systems distribute resources through decentralized networks. Trees use vascular systems. Fungi form mycelial webs that span kilometers. Coral reefs distribute nutrients through living channels. Animal circulatory systems transport energy molecules throughout the body. A living global energy system would mimic these networks. Instead of metal cables, it could use bio-grown conductive fibers. Instead of centralized grids, it would operate as a distributed web. Damage to one part of the network would not collapse the whole system. Energy would flow like nutrients through an ecosystem. Living cities as power plants. In a living energy civilization, cities would not merely consume energy, they would generate it. Buildings could photosynthesize. Walls could contain microbial reactors. Foundations could host mineral-forming bacteria. Roofs could grow algae. Gardens could double as energy farms. Urban heat could be captured by thermophilic microbes. Human waste could be converted into electricity. Organic trash could feed microbial power cells. Cities would become energy-positive organisms rather than energy-hungry machines. Oceans as living energy reservoirs. The oceans are Earth's largest living system. Phytoplankton already capture more carbon and sunlight than all terrestrial plants combined. Living energy systems could use engineered algae and plankton to produce fuels, electricity, and chemical energy carriers. Floating living platforms could harvest solar energy biologically. Coral-like structures could grow energy-harvesting reefs. These systems would regenerate themselves and expand naturally. Energy without pollution. One of the most revolutionary aspects of living energy systems is that they produce no waste. Every byproduct becomes a nutrient. Oxygen released from photosynthesis supports life. Dead cells become food for microbes. Waste heat dissipates naturally. There are no toxic byproducts. This eliminates the concept of pollution at the energy system level. Living energy and climate restoration. Living energy systems would not merely stop climate change, they would reverse it. Photosynthetic organisms remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Soils enriched with microbial life store carbon. Forests regulate rainfall. Oceans absorb excess heat. Instead of being the cause of climate disruption, energy systems would become planetary healing systems. Resilience and self-repair. Industrial energy systems are fragile. A single failure can cause cascading blackouts. Living systems are resilient. If one part of a forest burns, others grow back. If one pathway fails, nutrients reroute. Living energy systems would heal themselves. Broken networks would regrow. Degraded components would be replaced biologically. Maintenance would become growth. A living planetary grid. A true living global energy system would resemble a planetary nervous system. Energy would be harvested everywhere, stored everywhere, distributed everywhere. No central authority would control it. No single failure could destroy it. It would be Earth's metabolism, consciously guided by humanity. Civilization as an energy ecosystem. In such a future, civilization would no longer be an external force acting on Earth. It would be an internal organ of the planet. Human settlements would become photosynthetic clusters. Transportation would follow biological efficiency. Technology would be alive. Energy would flow through society like blood through a body. Living global energy systems represent a fundamental shift in how civilization relates to power. Instead of extracting, burning, and destroying, humanity would grow, cultivate, and regenerate. These systems would be cleaner, more resilient, more beautiful, and more efficient than anything industrial civilization has created. The future of energy is not mechanical, it is biological, it is alive. Biological battery systems. How living energy storage could transform civilization. Energy storage is one of the greatest challenges facing modern civilization. While humanity has developed powerful methods for generating energy, it still relies heavily on industrial batteries made from mined metals, toxic electrolytes, and resource-intensive manufacturing processes. These batteries degrade, become hazardous waste, and depend on fragile global supply chains. As societies attempt to transition to renewable energy, the limitations of industrial storage systems become increasingly clear. Biological battery systems offer a radically different paradigm. Instead of storing energy in mined materials and artificial chemical systems, biological batteries store and release energy using living organisms, organic molecules, or biologically derived structures. These systems grow, self-repair, adapt to their environments, and integrate naturally into ecosystems. They are not simply tools, they are living or semi-living infrastructures. What is a biological battery? A biological battery is any system that stores or generates electrical or chemical energy using biological processes, biological materials, or living organisms. Unlike industrial batteries, which rely on metals like lithium, cobalt, and nickel, biological batteries use organic molecules, microbes, plants, fungi, or engineered biological tissues. The defining characteristics of biological batteries are that they are renewable, biodegradable, non-toxic, and capable of regeneration. Many of them also possess the ability to self-assemble and self-repair. Instead of being manufactured, they are cultivated. In a biological battery system, energy is often stored in molecular bonds, much like how living cells store energy in sugars, fats, and ATP. This energy can then be released in controlled ways to produce electricity, heat, or mechanical work. Microbial batteries, living electrical generators. One of the most established forms of biological battery is the microbial fuel cell. Certain bacteria naturally transfer electrons outside their cell membranes as part of their metabolic process. These microbes break down organic matter and release electrons as a byproduct. In microbial batteries, electrodes capture these electrons and direct them into a circuit. The microbes form a living biofilm on the electrode surface, continuously generating electricity as long as they are fed. These systems can run on waste products such as sewage, agricultural residues, compost, and food scraps. This transforms waste into energy while simultaneously cleaning the environment. Unlike industrial batteries, microbial batteries do not require rare materials and do not degrade irreversibly. If the microbial population is damaged, it simply regrows. This makes microbial batteries ideal for decentralized, low-maintenance, and long-term energy systems. Plant-based and photosynthetic batteries. Plants already function as natural energy storage devices. Through photosynthesis, they convert sunlight into chemical energy stored in sugars, starches, and oils. This energy can be harvested directly or used to feed microbial systems that generate electricity. In advanced plant-based battery systems, plants could be integrated with conductive materials to form living energy storage units. Their roots could feed microbial fuel cells. Their tissues could store energy-rich compounds. Their structures could support bioelectrical networks. This means that forests, farms, and urban green spaces could double as energy storage systems. A city park could function as a massive, living battery. Agricultural fields could store energy seasonally. Orchards could become energy farms. Organic molecule batteries. Many organic molecules can reversibly gain and lose electrons, which is the fundamental mechanism of any battery. Examples include quinones, flavins, melanin, lignin derivatives, and humic substances. These molecules are abundant in nature and can be produced by plants, fungi, or microbes. They are biodegradable, non-toxic, and renewable. Organic molecule batteries could be grown using fermentation tanks, fungal cultures, or agricultural systems. Instead of mining lithium, societies could cultivate battery materials. These batteries would be safer, compostable, and adaptable. When their performance declines, they could be biologically recycled into new batteries. Mycelium-based battery structures. Fungal mycelium is one of the most promising materials for biological batteries. Mycelium forms vast, branching networks that are strong, lightweight, fire-resistant, and biodegradable. Mycelium can be grown into specific shapes using molds, allowing it to form casings, frameworks, and porous structures for battery systems. When combined with conductive carbon materials or biopolymers, mycelium can act as both a structural and functional component. Entire buildings, walls, or furniture could be grown to store energy. Instead of installing batteries, one could grow them. This turns architecture into infrastructure and infrastructure into living systems. Protein-based and molecular energy storage. At the most fundamental level, life stores energy using molecules such as ATP, NADH, and other electron carriers. These molecules are extraordinarily efficient and operate at room temperature without toxic byproducts. Future biological batteries could use engineered proteins, enzymes, or synthetic biological molecules to store and release energy with extreme precision. These systems could self-assemble, self-repair, and adapt to changing conditions. Molecular batteries could function inside tissues, walls, or devices. They could be grown like cultures rather than manufactured like machines. Self-healing and regenerative storage. One of the greatest advantages of biological batteries is their ability to heal and regenerate. Industrial batteries degrade over time. Their electrodes corrode. Their electrolytes break down. Their capacity declines permanently. Biological batteries, however, could regenerate their components. Microbes reproduce. Plants regrow tissue. Fungi repair networks. Organic molecules can be resynthesized. A damaged biological battery would not need to be replaced. It would regrow. This dramatically reduces waste, maintenance, and long-term costs. Distributed energy storage. Industrial batteries are centralized and vulnerable. A single failure can disrupt large systems. Biological batteries would be distributed. Every building, tree, garden, and field could store energy. Power would not flow from a few massive facilities but through a planetary web of living storage. This would create unprecedented resilience. Natural disasters, conflicts, or technical failures would not collapse the system. Energy storage would become ecological rather than mechanical. Integration into living cities. In a civilization based on biological batteries, cities would become living energy organisms. Buildings would store energy. Roads would host microbial power systems. Parks would function as energy farms. Waste systems would double as storage systems. Human activity itself would become part of the energy cycle. Food waste would feed microbial cells. Body heat could be captured biologically. Sewage would become fuel. Cities would no longer be energy sinks. They would be energy producers. Environmental and climate benefits. Biological batteries would not only store energy, they would actively heal ecosystems. Photosynthetic systems remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Microbial systems detoxify soil and water. Fungal systems rebuild soil structure. Instead of creating pollution, energy storage would become a tool for ecological restoration. This means energy infrastructure would become climate infrastructure. Economic and social transformation. Biological batteries would decentralize energy ownership. Communities could grow their own storage systems. Energy poverty would be eliminated. Supply chains would shorten. This would create a more equitable and resilient society. Energy would become a local, regenerative resource rather than a commodity controlled by distant industries. Civilization as a living energy system. At the largest scale, biological battery systems would allow civilization itself to function like a living organism. Energy would be captured, stored, and distributed through living networks. This would mark the end of the industrial era and the beginning of the biological era of civilization. Technology would no longer be separate from nature. It would be nature, guided by intelligence. Biological battery systems represent one of the most profound transformations imaginable in human history. They replace toxic, extractive, and fragile energy storage with living, regenerative, and resilient systems. They turn waste into fuel, cities into power plants, buildings into batteries, forests into energy reservoirs. They make energy storage an ecological process rather than an industrial one. The future of energy is not mechanical, it is alive. How can we use biological energy systems with biological battery systems to clean up pollution, tackle climate change and build the most sustainable, regenerative society? The core idea, turning civilization into a living system. The fundamental problem with today's civilization is not just pollution or climate change. It is that our systems are dead, linear, and extractive. We take resources, burn them, poison ecosystems, and throw the remains away. Even many renewable technologies still follow this destructive pattern. Biological energy systems and biological batteries represent a completely different paradigm. Instead of dominating nature, they become part of nature. They are alive, regenerative, adaptive, self-repairing, and circular. When integrated together, they can transform civilization into a planet-scale living metabolism that cleans itself, stores energy organically, and continuously regenerates ecosystems. This is not about making energy greener. It is about making civilization alive. How biological energy systems generate power while cleaning pollution. Biological energy systems use living organisms to capture, convert, and distribute energy. These systems already exist in nature, and we are learning how to guide and enhance them. Photosynthetic organisms, such as plants, algae, and cyanobacteria, remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and convert sunlight into chemical energy. When deployed at scale, across cities, oceans, deserts, and degraded lands, they do not just produce energy, they actively reverse climate change by removing greenhouse gases. Microbial energy systems can digest toxic waste, oil spills, plastics, sewage, and industrial chemicals while simultaneously producing electricity or energy-rich compounds. This means pollution itself becomes fuel. Instead of treating pollution as a problem, these systems turn it into a resource. For example, wastewater treatment plants could become power plants. Oil-contaminated soil could become electricity farms. Plastic waste could be biologically broken down and converted into stored energy. This means energy generation and environmental cleanup become the same process. How biological batteries store energy without destroying the planet. Energy generation is not enough. We need storage that does not poison the planet. Industrial batteries require mining, toxic electrolytes, rare metals, and produce hazardous waste. They degrade and must be replaced. This creates new pollution even when used for renewable energy. Biological batteries store energy in organic molecules, microbial systems, plant tissues, fungal networks, and engineered biomaterials. These systems grow instead of being manufactured. They self-repair. They biodegrade safely. For example, sugars and plant oils can store solar energy for months. Microbial systems can store electrical energy chemically. Mycelium networks can act as both structure and storage. Organic redox molecules can function like compostable batteries. When these systems reach the end of their useful life, they do not become toxic waste. They become nutrients. This means energy storage no longer causes ecological harm. Using these systems to remove carbon from the atmosphere. Climate change is fundamentally an energy imbalance and a carbon imbalance. Biological energy systems solve both. Photosynthetic organisms absorb carbon dioxide as they capture energy. When their biomass is stabilized in soils, wetlands, forests, or ocean sediments, that carbon is removed from the atmosphere long-term. Biological batteries can store this energy in stable organic forms rather than releasing it as heat or emissions, confirming a closed-loop cycle. Instead of burning carbon, we grow carbon. This reverses climate change instead of merely slowing it, turning cities into living climate repair machines. Modern cities are heat islands, pollution hubs, and carbon emitters. Living energy and biological battery systems can transform cities into climate repair systems. Buildings could be covered in photosynthetic skins that capture sunlight and carbon dioxide. Walls could contain microbial energy generators that digest organic waste. Rooftops could grow algae that produce fuel and store energy. Foundations could contain mycelial battery networks. Parks would not just be recreational spaces, they would be energy reservoirs and carbon sinks. Sewage systems would become power plants. Landfills would become biological energy farms. Food waste would be fuel. Cities would no longer consume energy, they would generate it. Cities would no longer produce pollution, they would digest it, restoring ecosystems while producing power. One of the most powerful aspects of these systems is that they do not compete with nature. They are nature. Mangrove forests could be engineered to produce energy while protecting coastlines. Wetlands could generate electricity while purifying water. Forests could act as long-term energy storage systems. Coral-like structures could be grown to protect coastlines and harvest solar energy biologically. Deserts could be transformed using engineered photosynthetic organisms that stabilize soil, capture carbon, and generate energy. Every ecosystem becomes stronger when these systems are deployed, eliminating waste entirely. In a biological civilization, waste does not exist. All outputs become inputs. Plastic-eating microbes would digest synthetic polymers. Heavy metal-absorbing plants would clean soils. Oil-degrading bacteria would detoxify oceans. Air-cleaning algae would remove pollutants. That absorbed material would then be converted into stored biological energy. Pollution would literally become food for the energy system. This creates a world where cleanup is automatic and continuous, creating a regenerative economy. Industrial economies grow by extraction. Living economies grow by regeneration. Biological energy and battery systems allow communities to grow their own energy infrastructure. No mining, no shipping, no rare materials. This decentralizes power, both electrically and politically. Local communities would own their own energy ecosystems. They would maintain them like gardens. Energy would become abundant, local, and free. This ends energy poverty. It also ends resource wars. Planetary scale resilience. Living systems are resilient. They adapt, they reroute, they regrow. A living energy grid cannot collapse the way industrial grids do. If one node fails, others compensate. Storms, earthquakes, droughts, or wars cannot destroy a system that is distributed across soil, forests, oceans, and cities. This creates planetary stability. The psychological shift from domination to partnership. Perhaps the most important change is cultural. Instead of seeing Earth as a resource to be consumed, humanity would see Earth as a living partner. Energy production would feel like gardening, not mining. Infrastructure would feel like ecology, not machinery. Technology would feel alive. This creates a civilization that protects life instinctively. The end result, a fully regenerative society. When biological energy systems and biological batteries are combined, civilization becomes carbon negative, pollution absorbing, self-repairing, decentralized, resilient, abundant, ecologically integrated. Beautiful cities become forests. Infrastructure becomes biology. Energy becomes a life process. This is not a utopia. It is a logical extension of natural principles. This is how civilization becomes permanent. No industrial civilization has ever lasted long. They collapse because they consume their own foundations. Living systems have existed for billions of years. If we want a civilization that lasts millions of years, it must be alive. To create cities powered by biological energy systems and biological battery systems, we must fundamentally redesign what a city is. Instead of being a machine that consumes resources and produces waste, the city must become a living organism, one that grows, heals, cycles nutrients, captures energy, stores it biologically, and cleans its own pollution. Redefining the city as a living system. A living city is not a collection of dead materials and machines. It is a metabolic system, like a forest or coral reef. In a living city, buildings photosynthesize or host photosynthetic organisms, walls and foundations store energy biologically, waste is digested by microbes, water is purified by wetlands and living filters, air is cleaned by plants and algae, infrastructure heals itself, energy is grown, not mined. The city becomes an ecosystem designed for humans. Living energy generation in cities. Photosynthetic architecture. Buildings would be covered in layers of algae panels, moss systems, photosynthetic biofilms, engineered plant skins. These surfaces would capture sunlight and carbon dioxide and convert them into chemical energy, sugars, or direct electrical currents. Every wall becomes a power plant. Microbial power networks. Beneath streets, in walls, and inside foundations, microbial fuel cells would digest organic waste, sewage, food scraps, and biodegradable materials. As microbes metabolize this waste, they release electrons that are harvested as electricity. This means, sewage becomes energy, food waste becomes energy, organic trash becomes energy, pollution becomes fuel. Heat and motion harvesting. Biological systems can harvest body heat, urban heat, water movement, wind, vibrations. This energy can be stored in organic chemical forms or microbial storage systems. Biological batteries embedded everywhere. Instead of lithium battery packs, cities would use biological energy storage, plant-based storage. Plants naturally store energy in sugars, starches, and oils. Urban farms, vertical forests, and rooftop gardens would become seasonal energy storage systems. During sunny months, they store energy. During darker months, they release it. Microbial storage. Some microbes can store energy chemically for long periods. These can act like living batteries. These systems self-repair, reproduce, expand capacity as they grow. Mycelium storage networks. Fungal mycelium can grow through buildings, soil, and walls, forming structural and energy storage networks. They can hold organic battery molecules, distribute charge, and act as decentralized storage. Organic molecular batteries. Walls, floors, and furniture could contain organic redox molecules that store and release electrons like a battery, but are biodegradable and safe. Your house itself becomes a battery. Living infrastructure. Living roads. Roads could be made from mycelium-based composites that heal cracks, absorb water, generate power through microbial layers, store energy. Living water systems. Instead of pipes, cities would use constructed wetlands, root-based filtration systems, algae purification tanks, microbial detoxification layers. These clean water while producing energy. Living air systems. Buildings would contain vertical forests, algae columns, and biofilters that remove pollutants, capture carbon dioxide, release oxygen, store energy. Waste-free urban metabolism. In a living city, waste does not exist. Organic waste, food scraps, paper, textiles, and biodegradable plastics are digested by microbial energy systems. They become electricity or stored energy. Chemical pollution. Engineered microbes and plants can absorb heavy metals, oil residues, microplastics, toxic chemicals. They convert them into stable, harmless compounds or store the energy. Atmospheric pollution. Algae and plants absorb nitrogen oxides, sulfur compounds, and CO2. They store that carbon in biomass and soil. Buildings that grow. Instead of being constructed, many future buildings would be grown. Mycelium frameworks, tree-shaped structures, bacterial mineralization, plant-based composites. These buildings would repair themselves, adapt to climate, expand naturally, store energy, purify air. A building would be more like a tree than a box. Transportation in living cities. Transportation must also be biological. Biogrown materials. Vehicles made from mycelium composites, plant fibers, spider silk-like proteins. These are ultra-light and biodegradable. Biofuel systems. Algae farms in cities could produce clean fuels locally. Distributed power. Charging stations would be everywhere because the city itself stores energy. You would not go to a power station. You would live inside one. Urban food and energy integration. Food systems and energy systems would merge. Urban farms would grow food, capture solar energy, store energy in biomass, feed microbial power systems. Harvest would provide nutrition, fuel, fertilizer, battery materials. Climate control through biology. Instead of air conditioners and heaters, living cities would use transpiration cooling, like forests, shaded plant canopies, evaporative wetlands, thermal mass plant wall. Cities would regulate temperature like ecosystems do. City-wide intelligence. Living cities would use fungal-like networks, plant-inspired signaling, organic neural networks. These would optimize energy flow, water flow, waste digestion, traffic patterns. The city becomes aware of its own metabolism. Social benefits. These cities would eliminate energy poverty, create local abundance, remove pollution, reduce stress, increase biodiversity, improve mental health. Nature is psychologically healing. A living city would be calming, beautiful, and meaningful. How we transition from today. Phase 1, retrofit. Add green walls, algae roofs, microbial waste digesters, mycelium materials. Phase 2, hybrid districts. Build neighborhoods that are partially living. Phase 3, fully living cities. New cities grown from the ground up. Phase 4, planetary integration. Cities become nodes in a planetary living energy grid. What these cities would feel like. They would feel like forests, gardens, coral reefs, wetlands, not machines. They would be alive. A sustainable city does not merely reduce harm, it improves the planet. A living city cleans air, cleans water, stores carbon, produces energy, grows food, heals ecosystems. Living cities, designing urban systems powered by biological energy and biological batteries. Modern cities are among the most resource-intensive and ecologically disruptive structures humans have ever created. They rely on centralized energy grids, extractive mining, polluting industries, fragile supply chains, and linear waste systems that degrade ecosystems and destabilize the climate. These cities behave like machines. They consume, degrade, and discard. However, natural ecosystems, such as forests, wetlands, and coral reefs, function in a fundamentally different way. They generate energy, recycle materials, regulate their own climate, store resources, and grow more productive over time. A truly sustainable future requires cities to transition from mechanical systems to living systems. This can be achieved by integrating biological energy systems, such as photosynthesis, microbial metabolism, and biochemical energy cycles, with biological battery systems that store energy in organic, self-repairing, and biodegradable forms. Such cities would not only minimize harm, but actively regenerate the planet. This essay explores how cities could be designed as living organisms powered by biological energy and storage systems, capable of cleaning pollution, stabilizing the climate, increasing biodiversity, and supporting human well-being. Redefining the city as a living metabolic system. A living city is not a collection of static structures but a dynamic metabolic organism. In nature, ecosystems maintain themselves through continuous flows of energy, nutrients, and matter. Leaves capture sunlight, roots absorb minerals, microbes decompose waste, fungi distribute nutrients, and the entire system self-regulates. In a biologically integrated city, this same logic applies. Energy is harvested everywhere. Waste becomes food. Infrastructure grows, heals, and adapts. Storage is organic. Materials are renewable. Instead of externalizing pollution, the city metabolizes it. This shift represents a fundamental redefinition of urban design. Cities would no longer be parasitic on the earth but symbiotic with it. Biological energy generation in urban environments. Photosynthetic architecture. Every exposed surface in a city can become an energy harvesting interface. Buildings can be coated in living layers of algae, moss, lichens, and engineered photosynthetic organisms. These organisms convert sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into chemical energy and, in some cases, direct electrical currents. Instead of rooftop solar panels alone, entire buildings become biological solar collectors. Walls, balconies, bridges, and even windows can be integrated with living photosynthetic skins that capture carbon while producing energy-rich compounds. This transforms urban space into a distributed power plant. Microbial power systems. Microorganisms naturally release electrons as part of their metabolism. In microbial fuel cells, these electrons can be captured and converted into electricity. Sewage systems, compost centers, wastewater plants, and organic waste facilities can all be converted into energy-generating infrastructures. In a living city, food waste becomes electricity. Sewage becomes stored power. Organic refuse becomes fuel. Instead of treating waste as a problem, it becomes a resource. Biochemical and thermal energy harvesting. Biological systems can also harvest heat from bodies and buildings, kinetic energy from movement, water flow energy, wind energy. This energy can be stored in organic chemical bonds or microbial reservoirs. Cities would become multi-source energy ecosystems rather than relying on a single centralized grid. Biological battery systems, storing energy like nature. Nature already has highly efficient energy storage systems. Plants store energy in sugars, starches, and oils. Animals store energy in fats. Microbes store chemical potential in molecular gradients. These processes can be engineered into urban-scale energy storage systems. Plant-based energy storage, urban forests, vertical farms, rooftop gardens, and indoor agriculture systems would not only produce food but store seasonal energy. During high sunlight periods, biomass accumulates energy. During low sunlight periods, that energy can be extracted through fermentation, microbial digestion, or biochemical conversion. This creates a seasonal, regenerative battery. Microbial energy reservoirs. Certain bacteria can store electrical charge and chemical energy. These microbial batteries can grow, self-repair, and expand capacity naturally. Instead of mining lithium or cobalt, energy storage would be cultivated. Mycelium-based energy networks. Fungal mycelium forms massive underground networks that distribute nutrients across forests. In cities, engineered mycelial networks could distribute energy, repair infrastructure, and store charge in organic molecules embedded within their structures. Buildings could share power biologically, like trees sharing nutrients through fungal webs. Organic molecular batteries. Researchers are developing organic redox molecules that store and release electrons. These can be embedded into walls, floors, furniture, and even clothing. Entire buildings could act as distributed batteries. Your home would not contain a battery, it would be a battery. Living infrastructure. Self-healing buildings. Living materials such as mycelium composites, bacterial mineralization systems, and plant-based biopolymers can grow, adapt, and self-repair. Cracks in walls would heal. Structural weaknesses would trigger biological reinforcement. Buildings would age like trees, not rust like machines. Living roads and bridges. Mycelium composites can be stronger than concrete and far more flexible. Embedded microbial layers could generate energy from pressure, moisture, and waste. Roads would become energy producers. Water systems that purify themselves. Instead of pipes and treatment plants, water systems would rely on constructed wetlands, root-based filtration, algae ponds, and microbial detoxification chambers. These systems would purify water while producing energy and biomass. Air as a resource. Vertical forests, algae columns, moss walls, and biofilters would remove particulate matter, nitrogen oxides, sulfur compounds, and carbon dioxide. They would convert air pollution into stored biological energy. Zero waste urban metabolism. In nature, waste does not exist. Everything becomes input for something else. Living cities would follow the same principle. Organic materials would be digested by microbes into electricity, heat, and fertilizer. Toxic pollutants would be absorbed by hyperaccumulator plants or neutralized by engineered bacteria. Carbon dioxide would be turned into sugars, fibers, and fuels. Landfills would disappear. Transportation in living cities. Transportation systems would be lightweight, biodegradable, and powered biologically. Vehicles would be made from plant fibers, mycelium composites, and protein-based materials. Algae farms would produce biofuels locally. Energy would be stored in organic batteries embedded in roads, parking spaces, and stations. The city itself would charge vehicles. Food, energy, and infrastructure integration. In living cities, food systems, energy systems, and material systems merge. Urban farms would produce food for people, biomass for energy, organic battery materials, soil regeneration. Every harvest would strengthen the city's energy security. Climate regulation through biology. Instead of mechanical climate control, cities would use ecological principles. Transpiration from plants cools air naturally. Shaded canopies reduce heat islands. Wetlands regulate humidity. Living walls insulate buildings. Cities would behave like forests, regulating their own microclimates. Intelligence without silicon. Living cities could use biological signaling systems, chemical gradients, fungal networks, and plant-like communication to regulate energy flows, water distribution, and waste digestion. These systems would be decentralized, resilient, and adaptive. Psychological and social transformation. Humans evolved in living environments. Concrete, noise, and pollution harm mental health. Living cities would reduce anxiety, increase creativity, improve social cohesion, and restore a sense of meaning. People would not just live in cities, they would belong to them. Transitioning from today's cities. This transformation would happen in phases, retrofitting existing buildings with green walls, algae panels, and microbial digesters, developing hybrid districts combining biological and mechanical systems, constructing fully living neighborhoods, expanding into planetary-scale regenerative urban networks. Biological energy systems and biological battery systems offer more than sustainability, they offer a complete redesign of civilization. Living cities would clean the air, purify water, store carbon, generate energy, grow food, and regenerate ecosystems. They would not merely reduce damage, they would heal the earth. This is not science fiction. It is the logical next step in civilization. Here is a complete conceptual layout for a living city, a biologically powered, regenerative, self-sustaining urban organism. This is not just an eco-city, it is a metabolic ecosystem designed for humans. The living city, a full layout design. Core philosophy. A living city is designed like a forest, not a factory. Forests capture energy everywhere, store energy biologically, recycle all waste, regulate temperature and water, grow over time, heal themselves, increase biodiversity. This city does the same, intentionally. Overall structure. The city is organized like a giant organism. The 7 main zones. Photosynthetic energy belt, residential canopy district, civic and cultural heart, food forest plus agroforestry rings, water purification, wetlands, research and biofabrication district, wild biodiversity corridors. All zones are interconnected by living transport arteries and mycelial energy networks. Zone 1, photosynthetic energy belt. This is the outer layer of the city. Function, primary energy capture. Features, algae towers, vertical kelp-style bioreactors, photosynthetic building skins, solar leaf arrays, wind harvesting trees. This zone captures massive amounts of sunlight and CO2 and converts them into, electricity, sugars, organic battery compounds, biofuels, oxygen. It also acts as the city's carbon sink. Zone 2, residential canopy districts. This is where people live. Structure, instead of apartment blocks, these districts look like layered forests. Canopy level, homes and treed-up structures. Understory, gardens, clinics, schools. Ground level, water channels, fungal networks. Buildings are grown from, mycelium composites, bamboo-like plant structures. Living walls, mineralizing bacteria. They self-repair, regulate temperature, store energy, purify air, adapt over time. Every home has a living roof, food plus energy, algae window panels, organic battery walls, gray water plant filters, microbial compost energy units. Your home is a power station, air filter, food source, and water purifier. Zone 3, civic and cultural heart. This is the emotional and social center. Instead of concrete plazas, it is a giant forest clearing with amphitheaters grown from trees, libraries and hollowed living structures, bioluminescent art, meditation groves, water temples. Energy is stored in living walls. Lighting comes from glowing algae. Cooling comes from transpiration. This space feels sacred, not industrial. Zone 4, food forest and agroforestry rings. This zone feeds the entire city. It is organized in concentric layers: inner ring, fruits, nuts, vegetables; middle ring, grains, tubers, legumes; outer ring, medicinal plants, fibers, biofuel crops, all arranged in permaculture guilds. There is no monoculture, no chemical fertilizer, no pesticides. Everything is managed by biodiversity. Energy storage: surplus biomass becomes organic batteries, fermentation fuels, biogas, compost power. Food systems equals energy systems. Zone 5, water purification wetlands. Instead of pipes and treatment plants, this city uses living water systems. Layout: river inlets, algae basins, reed wetlands, fungal filters, clean reservoirs. These systems, remove toxins, capture heavy metals, destroy pathogens, generate electricity via microbial cells, create habitats. Water becomes alive. Zone 6, research and biofabrication district. This is where innovation happens. Functions: growing new materials, engineering microbes, designing living buildings, training biological AIs, testing new ecosystems. Factories are replaced with biofoundries. They grow building panels, textiles, medical materials, organic batteries, structural beams. No smokestacks, no toxic waste. Zone 7, wild biodiversity corridors. These zones are not for humans, they are for life. They allow animal migration, pollinator networks, seed dispersal, predator-prey balance. The city does not displace nature, it becomes part of it. Transportation system: there are no highways. Transport follows biological logic: main modes, walking paths through forests, canopy gliders, biotrum vines, river-based transport, magnetic pod systems, all powered by living batteries, microbial energy, algae fuels. No noise, no smog. Energy distribution: energy moves like nutrients in a forest, mycelial cables, root-like conduits, biochemical pipelines. Energy flows to where it's needed automatically. No centralized grid, no blackouts, no scarcity. Waste processing: there is no garbage. Organic waste, microbial digesters, electricity plus fertilizer. Chemical waste, detox microbes, neutral compound, CO2, algae, sugars, building materials. Everything cycles. Governance: this city is governed like an ecosystem, decentralized, community-based, AI-assisted. Ecologically informed decisions are based on ecosystem health, human well-being, long-term resilience. Daily life in a living city: you wake up to filtered forest air. Your walls softly glow from stored solar energy. You harvest breakfast from your balcony. Waste goes into your microbial unit, powering your home. You walk through a shaded canopy path to work. You hear birds, not engines. The city feels alive because it is. Scaling this globally: each city becomes a node in a planetary living network. They exchange seeds, knowledge, biomass, genetic libraries, energy. Earth becomes a garden civilization. To create a planetary system of living cities powered by biological energy systems and biological battery systems, humanity must redesign not only individual cities but the entire way civilization interacts with the Earth. This is not merely an urban planning project, it is a transformation of planetary metabolism. The goal is to turn the planet into a coherent, regenerative, living network that behaves more like a biosphere and less like an extractive machine. This can be understood in several interconnected stages. Reframing Earth as a living infrastructure. The first step is conceptual. Earth must no longer be treated as a warehouse of resources, but as a living system with circulatory, respiratory, and metabolic processes. Just as forests regulate climate, wetlands purify water, and oceans stabilize temperatures, a planetary living system would integrate human civilization into these natural regulatory loops. Cities would become metabolic organs rather than industrial scars. Each city would act like a photosynthetic node, capturing energy, storing it biologically, cycling nutrients, and stabilizing its local environment. When connected together, these cities would form a global organism, creating a global network of living cities. A planetary system begins with distributed nodes rather than centralized megastructures. Each living city must be energetically autonomous, capable of generating and storing its own power through photosynthesis, microbial systems, and organic batteries. This eliminates dependence on fossil fuels and fragile global supply chains. These cities would then be connected through biological trade networks rather than extractive ones. Instead of shipping raw materials mined from the earth, cities would exchange seeds, microbes, genetic libraries, living materials, and regenerative technologies. This creates a planetary web of mutual reinforcement rather than competition. Planetary scale energy capture. The Earth receives vast quantities of solar energy every second. A living planetary system would be designed to harvest this energy through biological means. Photosynthetic surfaces would cover cities, deserts, rooftops, floating platforms, and degraded lands. Algae systems, engineered plants, and microbial films would capture carbon dioxide and convert sunlight into stored biochemical energy. This energy would be stored in plant biomass, microbial reservoirs, fungal networks, and organic molecular batteries. This would turn the entire planet into a distributed solar collector, a global biological energy storage web. Instead of lithium-based battery megafactories, energy storage would be decentralized and organic. Cities would store energy in living systems, forests, algae lakes, microbial tanks, fungal matrices, and biochemical reservoirs. Because biological batteries grow, self-repair, and reproduce, the global energy storage capacity would expand naturally as ecosystems mature. This eliminates the need for destructive mining and creates an energy system that improves with time. Energy would move through living conduits, mimicking nutrient flows in forests and oceans. Planetary waste as a resource. In a living planetary system, waste is not an endpoint but a transformation stage. All organic waste would be metabolized by microbes into energy, nutrients, and materials. Chemical pollutants would be broken down by engineered organisms. Heavy metals would be accumulated by plants designed to extract them safely. Carbon dioxide would become a feedstock for new ecosystems. Plastic and synthetic materials would be replaced by biodegradable, grown alternatives. This transforms global pollution into planetary nourishment, restoring and expanding Earth's biosphere. Living cities must not displace nature, they must expand it. Each urban node would be surrounded by expanding biodiversity corridors, wetlands, forests, and marine regeneration zones. The planet would be divided into overlapping ecological layers, human habitation zones, agricultural ecosystems, wilderness corridors, marine regeneration zones, atmospheric carbon capture layers. These layers would exchange energy, nutrients, and life forms continuously. Climate regulation through living systems. Climate instability exists because the natural carbon, water, and energy cycles have been disrupted. A planetary living system restores these cycles. Forests and algae fields regulate temperature through transpiration and shading. Wetlands buffer floods and droughts. Soil ecosystems store carbon. Oceans are protected and biologically enhanced to stabilize heat. This creates a self-correcting climate system rather than one dependent on mechanical intervention. Planetary governance as ecological stewardship. A living planetary system cannot be governed by extractive economic logic. Instead, governance must function like ecosystem management. Decisions would be based on long-term biospheric health, not short-term profit. Cities would be locally autonomous but globally coordinated. Artificial intelligence systems would model ecosystem dynamics and suggest optimal actions, but human values would remain central. This creates a planetary culture of stewardship rather than domination. Human culture in a living planetary system. Human life would fundamentally change. People would grow up inside ecosystems, not against them. Education would focus on ecological literacy, biological engineering, regenerative design, and interspecies ethics. Work would center on cultivating systems rather than exploiting them. Architecture would be grown. Transportation would be biological. Medicine would integrate with ecology. The result would be a civilization that feels alive, meaningful, and deeply rooted. Expansion beyond Earth. Once a planetary living system is established, the same principles can be used to terraform other worlds. Living cities could be deployed as self-contained ecosystems, capable of generating energy, recycling matter, and growing their own materials. Terraforming would not mean forcing a planet into a human shape. It would mean cultivating biospheres gently, layer by layer. Why this is the only sustainable future. Any system based on extraction, centralization, and waste will eventually collapse. Living systems, however, become more stable and productive over time. A planetary living system would eliminate energy scarcity, reverse climate change, restore biodiversity, remove pollution, increase human well-being, stabilize civilization. This is not utopian, it is biologically inevitable. Creating a planetary system of living cities requires a shift from industrial thinking to ecological thinking. It requires designing civilization as a metabolic network rather than a machine. Through biological energy systems, living batteries, regenerative materials, and ecosystem-based governance, Earth can become a self-sustaining, self-healing, and continuously improving biosphere. This is not just sustainability, it is planetary rebirth. What are the best systems to create biological energy systems and biological batteries? The best systems for creating biological energy systems and biological batteries are those that mimic, enhance, and integrate the ways living organisms already capture, convert, store, and distribute energy. Nature has spent billions of years optimizing these processes, so the most powerful designs are not invented from scratch. They are grown, hybridized, and guided. Photosynthetic energy systems, primary energy capture. Photosynthesis is the most successful energy harvesting system in the history of Earth. It converts sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into stored chemical energy. Best forms algae-based systems. Algae are far more efficient than trees or crops at capturing solar energy. They grow rapidly, require little land, and can be engineered to produce electricity, hydrogen, lipids, or sugars. They are ideal for urban energy skins, floating ocean farms, carbon capture, biofuel production, biochemical battery charging, cyanobacteria, and engineered microbes. Some microbes can directly produce electrical currents through their membranes. These systems can be grown on walls, in water columns, or in underground chambers. Plant-integrated power systems. Plants can be genetically tuned to export sugars, electrons, or hydrogen as usable energy. Their roots can be linked to microbial fuel cells, creating a direct plant-to-power interface. Microbial fuel cells, waste-to-energy systems. Microbial fuel cells, MFCs, use bacteria that release electrons during digestion. These systems are among the most promising biological energy technologies because they generate power continuously, use waste as fuel, self-repair, multiply, adapt to conditions they can be embedded into, sewage systems, compost centers, wetlands, landfills, food processing systems. This turns waste infrastructure into energy infrastructure. Biochemical storage systems, natural batteries. Living systems do not store energy as voltage, they store it in chemical bonds. These bonds can be released slowly, safely, and efficiently. Best biological storage molecules. Sugars and starches. Fast access energy storage, ideal for daily cycling. Oils and lipids. Extremely high energy density, better than lithium per unit mass. Biopolymers. Stable long-term storage. Hydrogen from biology. Some algae and microbes produce hydrogen naturally. These can be grown instead of mined. Fungal and mycelial networks, energy distribution plus storage. Fungi already function as planetary-scale nutrient distribution systems. Engineered mycelium networks can store biochemical energy, distribute power, repair infrastructure, grow new materials, interface with sensors. They are ideal for living buildings, energy sharing neighborhoods, underground energy webs, living electrochemical batteries. These systems store and release electrons like conventional batteries, but are made from organic molecules and living structures. Best candidates. Organic redox flow systems made from plant-based molecules instead of toxic metals. Protein-based electron shuttles. Some proteins naturally transport electrons. These can be used as living wires. DNA-based storage. DNA can store information and energy gradients simultaneously. Symbiotic hybrid systems, the most powerful option. The most effective systems are not purely biological or purely mechanical, they are hybrid systems. These integrate photosynthesis, capture, microbial metabolism, conversion, organic batteries, storage, AI regulation, optimization. For example, a building skin made of algae captures sunlight. Microbes convert sugars into electricity. Fungal networks, distributed organic batteries store it. This is how forests work. Living structural energy systems. Instead of separate power plants, structures themselves become energy systems. Examples: walls that store energy, floors that harvest pressure, roofs that photosynthesize, foundations that digest waste. This eliminates centralized vulnerability. Ocean-based biological energy systems. The ocean is the largest energy harvesting surface on Earth. Floating algae farms, kelp forests, and microbial platforms could generate massive amounts of power while restoring marine ecosystems. They also absorb CO2, increase biodiversity, stabilize ocean chemistry. Soil-based energy systems. Healthy soils are living batteries. Microbial communities store carbon, nutrients, and energy. Engineered soil systems can generate electricity, store energy, clean toxins, regenerate land. Atmospheric biological energy systems. Some organisms harvest energy from atmospheric chemical gradients. These can be used to capture nitrogen, extract trace elements, generate power from humidity gradients. Why these systems are superior to industrial batteries. Biological systems are self-repairing, grow themselves, do not require mining, are biodegradable, adapt to change, improve with time, sequester carbon, increase biodiversity. Lithium batteries degrade. Living batteries evolve. The most important design rule: do not build one giant system. Build millions of small, local, living systems. This is how ecosystems remain stable. How these systems work together. Photosynthesis captures energy. Microbes convert it. Fungi distribute it. Plants store it. Organic molecules hold it. Wetlands purify it. AI coordinates it. This is a planetary metabolism. Biological energy systems and biological batteries represent a fundamental shift away from extractive, industrial energy models toward regenerative, self-sustaining, and life-compatible systems. Instead of mining rare metals, burning fuels, or building centralized power plants, these systems harness the same principles that living organisms use: photosynthesis, metabolism, biochemical storage, and self-repair. Nature has already solved the problem of energy capture, conversion, storage, and distribution. Plants capture sunlight. Microbes convert organic matter into usable energy. Fungi distribute nutrients across vast networks. Animals store energy in fats and sugars. The most powerful biological energy systems are those that integrate these processes into a unified design. Photosynthetic energy systems. Photosynthesis is the most successful energy technology ever developed. It converts sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into stable chemical energy that can be stored, transported, and used later. Algae-based systems. Algae are among the most efficient photosynthetic organisms on Earth. They grow rapidly, require little land, and can be cultivated in water, on surfaces, or inside transparent structures. Algae can be engineered to produce oils, sugars, hydrogen, or even direct electrical currents. These systems are especially powerful because they capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, produce oxygen, generate usable fuels, can be grown anywhere, regenerate themselves continuously. Algae panels on buildings, floating algae farms on oceans, and urban algae reactors could collectively replace large portions of fossil energy use. Plant-integrated systems. Plants naturally store energy in their tissues. By linking plant root systems with microbial fuel cells, energy can be extracted from plant metabolic processes without killing the plant. This creates a continuous, living energy source that also provides food, shade, oxygen, and habitat. Microbial fuel cells in bioelectrical systems. Certain microbes naturally release electrons as part of their metabolism. Microbial fuel cells capture these electrons and convert them into usable electricity. These systems are particularly powerful because they generate electricity continuously, consume organic waste, self-repair, reproduce, adapt to environmental conditions. They can be installed in sewage systems, compost facilities, wetlands, and landfills. This turns waste infrastructure into power infrastructure. Instead of spending energy to treat waste, the city gains energy from it. Biochemical energy storage. Natural batteries. Unlike industrial batteries, biological systems store energy chemically rather than electrically. This is safer, more stable, and more energy dense. Sugars and starches. Plants store energy in sugars and starches. These are ideal for short-term energy needs and can be rapidly metabolized. Oils and lipids. Oils contain far more energy per gram than most battery materials. Algae and plants can be engineered to produce high-energy oils that can be converted into electricity when needed. Biopolymers. Certain biological polymers store energy long-term and degrade slowly. These are ideal for seasonal or multi-year storage. Fungal and mycelial networks. Fungi form some of the largest biological networks on Earth. Mycelium distributes nutrients across forests and allows trees to share resources. Engineered mycelial networks could store biochemical energy, transport energy between buildings, grow structural materials, self-repair, damage, adapt to changing conditions. These networks could replace traditional wiring, pipelines, and support beams with living systems. Organic and living electrochemical batteries. Organic batteries use carbon-based molecules instead of toxic metals. Some molecules naturally gain and lose electrons, making them ideal for energy storage. Advantages. They are biodegradable, can be grown from plants, do not require mining, are non-toxic, can be integrated into walls, floors, and furniture. Some systems use proteins and enzymes to shuttle electrons, creating truly living batteries that repair themselves. Hybrid biotechnological systems. The most powerful energy systems are hybrids. They combine biology with digital control, sensors, and AI. In these systems, Photosynthesis captures energy. Microbes converted organic molecules store it. Fungal networks distributed. AI regulates it. This mimics how ecosystems manage energy, but with human-level precision and control. Structural energy systems. In a biological civilization, energy systems are not separate from architecture. Buildings themselves become energy generators and batteries. Walls can photosynthesize. Floors can harvest kinetic energy. Roofs can grow algae. Foundations can digest waste. This eliminates the need for centralized power plants and makes energy production ubiquitous. Ocean-based biological energy systems. Oceans receive more sunlight than any other surface on Earth. Floating algae farms, kelp forests, and microbial mats can capture massive amounts of energy. These systems also absorb carbon dioxide, restore marine ecosystems, stabilize ocean chemistry, create food and materials. They represent one of the largest untapped renewable energy sources on Earth. Soil-based living batteries. Healthy soil is one of the most powerful carbon and energy storage systems on the planet. Soil microbes store energy in organic matter and release it slowly. Engineered soils can store energy, generate electricity, clean pollutants, improve agriculture, capture carbon. This transforms agriculture into an energy system. Atmospheric energy systems. Some organisms harvest energy from chemical gradients in the air, such as humidity or trace gases. These can be scaled into systems that harvest ambient energy continuously. Why biological systems are superior. Biological energy systems grow themselves, repair themselves, improve with time, are biodegradable, do not require mining, capture carbon, increase biodiversity, are resilient to damage. Decentralized power. Industrial batteries degrade. Living batteries evolve. The core design principle. The most important principle is decentralization. No single large system should control energy. Instead, millions of small living systems should be distributed everywhere. This makes civilization resilient, adaptable, and stable, just like ecosystems. The best systems for biological energy and biological batteries are those that integrate photosynthesis, microbial metabolism, biochemical storage, fungal networks, and hybrid biological digital regulation. These systems do not merely replace fossil fuels, they redefine civilization as a living process. Instead of extracting energy from the earth, we grow it. Instead of storing power in toxic metals, we store it in living chemistry. Instead of centralized grids, we create planetary ecosystems of energy. Biological energy systems and living batteries, foundations of a regenerative civilization. Human civilization currently depends on energy systems that are fundamentally incompatible with life. Fossil fuels, toxic batteries, centralized grids, and extractive mining destabilize the climate, poison ecosystems, and create fragile supply chains. These systems treat Earth as a warehouse rather than as a living system. Biological energy systems and biological batteries offer a radically different approach. Instead of extracting and burning, they grow. Instead of degrading, they regenerate. Instead of breaking down, they adapt and evolve. Nature already provides proof that such systems work. Forests store massive amounts of energy, regulate climate, purify water, and cycle nutrients without waste. Microbial ecosystems run continuously for billions of years. Fungal networks distribute resources across kilometers. These systems are resilient, decentralized, and self-sustaining. The future of energy is not mechanical, it is biological. Photosynthetic energy systems. Photosynthesis is the most successful energy technology ever created. It converts sunlight into stable chemical energy using carbon dioxide and water. Every leaf is a solar panel. Every forest is a power station. Algae-based systems. Algae are among the most powerful biological energy producers on Earth. They grow extremely fast, require minimal land, and can be cultivated in water, vertical panels, or bioreactors. Some species produce oils, sugars, hydrogen, and even direct electrical currents. Algae-based systems are ideal because they capture carbon dioxide, produce oxygen, generate fuels, are self-replicating, can be grown on non-arable land. Urban algae walls, floating ocean farms, and desert algae fields could replace vast amounts of fossil fuel infrastructure. Plant-integrated energy systems. Plants already store energy in their tissues. By connecting plant root systems to microbial fuel cells, energy can be harvested without harming the plant. This creates a continuous, living energy source that also provides food, shade, cooling, and air purification. These systems blur the line between agriculture and power generation. Microbial fuel cells and bioelectrical systems. Many bacteria naturally release electrons as part of their metabolism. Microbial fuel cells capture these electrons and convert them into usable electricity. These systems are especially powerful because they run continuously, use waste as fuel, self-repair, adapt to conditions, reproduce themselves. They can be embedded in sewage systems, compost facilities, wetlands, and landfills. This transforms waste from a problem into an energy source. Instead of spending energy to manage waste, the city gains energy from it. Biochemical storage, nature's batteries. Unlike industrial batteries, biological systems store energy in chemical bonds rather than electrical charge. This is safer, more stable, and often more energy dense. Sugars and starches. Plants store energy in sugars and starches, which can be rapidly mobilized. These are ideal for short-term energy needs. Oils and lipids. Oils contain enormous energy density. Algae and plants can be engineered to produce large quantities of lipids, which can later be converted into electricity or fuels. Biopolymers. Certain biological polymers degrade slowly and can store energy over long periods. These are ideal for seasonal and long-term storage. This type of storage mimics how ecosystems survive winter, drought, and scarcity. Fungal and mycelial energy networks. Fungi form some of the largest living networks on Earth. Mycelium connects forests, allowing plants to share nutrients, signals, and resources. Engineered mycelial systems could distribute energy between buildings, store biochemical energy, grow structural materials, repair themselves, respond to environmental changes. These systems could replace traditional wiring, pipelines, and even support beams with living infrastructure. Organic and living electrochemical batteries. Organic batteries use carbon-based molecules instead of toxic metals. Some naturally occurring molecules can accept and donate electrons repeatedly, making them ideal for energy storage. Advantages: these batteries are biodegradable, do not require mining, are non-toxic, can be grown from plants, can be embedded into walls, floors, and furniture. Some designs even use enzymes and proteins as electron shuttles, creating truly living batteries that self-repair. Hybrid biotechnological systems. The most powerful systems are hybrids. They combine biology with sensors, AI, and precision engineering. In these systems, photosynthesis captures energy, microbes converted organic molecules store it, fungal networks distributed, AI optimizes it. This is not unnatural, it is an enhancement of how ecosystems already work. Structural energy systems. In a biological civilization, energy systems are not separate from architecture. Buildings themselves become solar collectors, energy storage systems, climate regulators, waste processors. Walls can photosynthesize. Floors can harvest motion. Roofs can grow algae. Foundations can digest organic waste. The city becomes a power plant. Ocean-based biological energy systems. Oceans receive more sunlight than any other surface on Earth. Floating algae farms, kelp forests, and microbial mats can generate enormous amounts of energy. These systems also absorb carbon dioxide, restore marine ecosystems, stabilize ocean chemistry, produce food and materials. They represent one of the largest untapped energy sources on the planet. Soil as a living battery. Healthy soil is one of Earth's greatest carbon and energy reservoirs. Soil microbes store energy in organic matter and release it slowly. Engineered soils could generate electricity, store energy, clean pollutants, improve agriculture, capture carbon. This transforms land restoration into energy infrastructure. Atmospheric biological energy systems. Some organisms harvest energy from chemical gradients in the air, such as humidity differences or trace gases. These systems can operate continuously without sunlight. Why biological systems are superior? Biological energy systems grow themselves, repair themselves, improve over time, are biodegradable, capture carbon, increase biodiversity, are resilient to damage. Decentralized power. Industrial systems degrade. Living systems evolve. The core design principle: decentralization. No single system should control energy. Millions of small, local biological systems create resilience, adaptability, and stability. This is how ecosystems survive. The best systems for biological energy and biological batteries integrate photosynthesis, microbial metabolism, biochemical storage, fungal distribution networks, and hybrid digital control. These systems do not merely replace fossil fuels, they redefine civilization. Instead of extracting energy, we cultivate it. Instead of toxic storage, we use living chemistry. Instead of centralized grids, we create planetary ecosystems. This is not speculative fantasy. It is the logical next step of life on Earth. How biological energy systems and biological batteries can be built today starts with hybrid systems, not purely biological. Fully living batteries and city-scale biological power grids are still developing. The correct approach today is hybridization, combining biological processes with existing electrical, chemical, and digital systems. This mirrors how nature evolves, by layering new capabilities onto old ones. So today's goal is not to replace everything overnight, but to add biological layers onto existing infrastructure, replace toxic components gradually, decentralize energy, turn waste into power, store energy in safer organic forms. Photosynthetic energy systems you can build today. Algae-based energy capture. Algae bioreactors already exist. They can be built today using transparent panels, water circulation, nutrient recycling, CO2 injection, light optimization. These systems can be placed on, building facades, rooftops, greenhouses, floating platforms, parking structures. What they can do today: capture carbon dioxide, produce biomass, produce oils, produce hydrogen, some strains, produce bioelectric outputs. Experimental how they integrate: biomass anaerobic digesters, biogas electricity, biomass fermentation biofuels, biomass biochemical batteries. This is already happening in pilot projects worldwide. Plant microbial energy coupling. You can already connect plant root systems to microbial fuel cells. This allows continuous low power generation, soil-based power, wetland-based power, no harm to plants. This is ideal for sensors, lighting, environmental monitoring, small local grids. These systems are real, tested, and deployable. Microbial fuel cells you can build today. Microbial fuel cells, MFCs, are among the most realistic biological energy systems available right now. They can be built using carbon electrodes, conductive membranes, naturally occurring bacteria, wastewater or organic waste. Where they can be deployed today: sewage plants, compost facilities, food waste centers, wetlands, farms, breweries, agricultural runoff zones. What they do: turn waste into electricity, reduce pollution, self-repair, operate continuously. They currently produce low power per unit, but they scale by multiplication, not by size, just like living systems. Biological battery systems you can build today. Organic redox batteries. Organic redox flow batteries already exist and are being actively developed. They use carbon-based molecules, plant-derived compounds, non-toxic electrolytes. These can already store renewable energy, be recycled safely, be scaled, be integrated into buildings. They are ideal transitional technology. Biochemical energy storage. Energy can already be stored in sugars, oils, biogas, ethanol, methane, biological, hydrogen, biological. These are not theoretical, they are in use. The missing piece is urban integration. Structural energy storage. Walls, bricks, and concrete can already be made into supercapacitors and batteries. Today you can build battery walls, energy storing floors, structural supercapacitors. These are not biological yet, but they are stepping stones toward living materials. Mycelium-based infrastructure you can build today. Mycelium materials already exist commercially. They are used for insulation, packaging, furniture, panels, acoustic dampening. What we can do now: replace plastics, replace foams, replace toxic composites, create biodegradable architecture. What comes next? Electrically conductive mycelium, self-healing materials, energy storing composites. This is actively being researched. Waste to energy biological systems you can deploy now. Anaerobic digesters. These already exist. They convert food waste, manure, sewage, biomass into methane, CO2, fertilizer. This is a biological battery, storing energy chemically. Cities can deploy these now. Compost power systems. Advanced compost systems can generate heat, generate biogas, support microbial fuel cells, store nutrients. How to integrate these into cities now? Step 1. Retrofitting. Add biological layers to existing systems. Algae facades on buildings, green roofs, waste energy digesters, greywater wetlands, mycelium insulation. Step 2. Neighborhood microgrids. Create local energy loops, waste to power systems, community storage, shared biological infrastructure. Step 3. Hybrid living buildings. Construct buildings that generate energy, store energy, clean air, clean water, process waste. Step 4. Policy and incentives. Shift subsidies from fossil fuels. Biological infrastructure. What cannot be done yet, but is coming. Some ideas require more research. Fully living high-density batteries, energy storing fungi networks, DNA-based energy storage, photosynthetic building skins, synthetic organelles for power. These are in development, not fantasy. Why this transition must be gradual. Biological systems grow. They do not scale like factories. Trying to force them into industrial speed causes failure. We must seed, grow, iterate, expand. What a 10-year realistic roadmap looks like. Years 1 and 3, deploy algae walls, build digesters, install MFCs, build hybrid microgrids. Years 4-7, add organic batteries, introduce mycelium materials, expand urban food energy systems. Years 8-10, semi-living buildings, integrated neighborhoods, closed-loop districts. The most important rule: do not wait for perfection. Biological systems evolve. They improve over time. We can build biological energy systems today by using algae systems, using microbial fuel cells, using anaerobic digesters, using organic batteries, using mycelium materials, using soil-based power, using hybrid infrastructure. We cannot yet build fully living cities, but we can start growing them. The most efficient biological energy system and biological battery. Core design principles: an efficient biological energy system must obey the same principles that make ecosystems successful. Continuous capture: it must harvest energy constantly, not intermittently. Distributed generation: no single point of failure. Chemical storage: energy stored in stable bonds, not just electrons. Self-repair: the system must regenerate itself. Closed-loop metabolism: no waste. Scalable by growth. Capacity increases by expanding life, not factories. The energy capture layer, input. The most efficient biological capture system is a multimodal photosynthetic surface structure. This layer combines algae-based capture, cyanobacteria-based capture, plant-based capture, biofilm-based capture. Each has different light preferences, ensuring near total solar utilization. Why this works: single species systems waste light. Multi-species systems absorb across different wavelengths, maximizing energy capture per square meter. Outputs: instead of producing only biomass, this layer produces sugars, lipids, hydrogen, reduced carbon compounds, electron flow, via bioelectric species. This allows multiple storage pathways. The conversion layer, metabolic engine. Captured energy must be converted into stable, usable forms. This layer uses microbial consortia rather than single organisms. Functions of converts: sugars, long-chain storage molecules, waste heat, biochemical gradients, organic waste, electricity, CO2, new energy molecules. Why consortia matter in nature? No organism works alone. Division of labor increases efficiency. One group captures, another stores, another detoxifies, another distributes. This mimics forest soil. The biological battery, storage core. This is the heart of the system. Storage types used: the most efficient biological battery is not one battery, it is a stack of storage modes. Fast access storage: sugars and short-chain carbohydrates, used for immediate needs. Medium-term storage: lipids and starches. High energy density. Long-term storage: biopolymers and stable carbon chains. Seasonal and multi-year storage. Electrical buffer storage: organic redox molecules, used for rapid charge-discharge cycles. This layered approach outperforms any single storage medium. The distribution network. Energy must move without massive losses. The most efficient biological model is fungal mycelium. Structure: nutrient-like energy carriers, chemical gradients, conductive biological fibers, moisture-stabilized transport. Why this works: mycelial networks are self-rooting, damage-resistant, self-healing, highly efficient, adaptive. They outperform rigid grids. The waste recycling layer. Every output becomes an input. This layer includes microbial decomposers, detoxifying microbes, mineral-binding organisms, carbon-fixing organisms. Nothing leaves the system. This is why it is more efficient than any industrial battery. The intelligence layer. No ecosystem is efficient without regulation. This layer uses chemical signaling, electrical signaling, sensor feedback, digital optimization. It regulates energy flows, storage levels, growth rates, repair cycles. Think of it as a metabolism manager. What makes this more efficient than lithium batteries? Lithium batteries degrade, require mining, are toxic, have finite lifespans, do not self-repair, store energy in one form. This biological system grows, repairs itself, stores energy in multiple forms, improves over time, is non-toxic, is carbon negative. Efficiency is not just conversion rate, it is lifetime performance. Physical form factor. The most efficient design is structural. Instead of a battery box, this system is a wall, a roof, a floor, a garden, a wetland, a pond. Energy system should not occupy space, they should be the space. Example: one home unit. A single home scale unit would include photosynthetic skin, algae windows, plant integrated panels, microbial waste converters, organic battery walls, mycelial energy veins. The home itself is the generator and battery. Example, city-scale system. A city-scale system would have algae belts, wetland batteries, soil-based energy, mycelial distribution grids, building integrated storage. The city becomes a living capacitor. Why this design is the most efficient possible? Because it uses the full solar spectrum, has no idle time, eliminates waste, repairs itself, scales by growth, adapts to demand, stores energy in multiple layers, does not degrade. No industrial system can match that. What limits the system? Only one thing: biology grows at biological speeds. But once established, it outperforms everything. The most efficient biological energy system and battery is not a device, not a machine, not a factory. It is a living metabolism. It captures energy everywhere. It stores energy chemically. It distributes energy biologically. It repairs itself. It eliminates waste. It improves over time. The most efficient biological energy system and biological battery. The most efficient biological energy system and battery is not a single machine or a single chemical compound. It is a living, adaptive, self-sustaining energy metabolism, modeled after natural ecosystems such as forests, wetlands, and soil microbiomes. Unlike conventional energy systems, which rely on finite resources, industrial processes, and centralized grids, a biological energy system grows, repairs itself, stores energy in multiple forms, and continuously cycles energy in matter. It is designed to capture energy from sunlight and organic matter, convert it into usable forms, store it safely, distribute it efficiently, and recycle all waste. Energy capture layer. The first critical component is energy capture, which must maximize solar energy absorption and carbon dioxide capture. In the most efficient design, this layer is multimodal, meaning it uses several organisms and mechanisms simultaneously to harvest energy. Components: algae-based capture. Algae grow rapidly, can cover large surfaces, and efficiently convert sunlight into biomass, oils, sugars, and hydrogen. Cyanobacteria-based capture. These microbes can generate direct electrical currents or hydrogen while fixing carbon. Plant-based capture. Plants capture sunlight over longer periods and store energy as sugars and starches. Biofilm and microbial surfaces. Thin microbial films can absorb light that is less efficiently captured by plants and algae, extending the system's efficiency across the solar spectrum. Function: each species or system captures light at different wavelengths, ensuring that nearly all available solar energy is used. Energy is captured not just as electricity, but as chemical energy that can later be converted or stored. Conversion layer. Metabolic engine. After energy is captured, it must be converted into usable forms. The conversion layer functions like the engine of the system. In this layer, microbial consortia and enzymatic processes transform captured energy into multiple outputs. Functions: convert sugars into long-chain storage molecules, convert organic waste and biomass into electricity or hydrogen, fix carbon dioxide into stable chemical bonds, transform waste heat into useful chemical energy gradients. Why it works: natural ecosystems function via division of labor. Some microbes specialize in energy capture, others in energy storage, and others in detoxification or distribution. This cooperative metabolism increases overall efficiency far beyond what single species systems can achieve. Biological battery. Storage core. The storage core is the battery of the system. Unlike conventional batteries, which store energy as electrical charge between electrodes, a biological battery stores energy in chemical bonds across multiple layers. Storage modes. Fast access storage. Sugars and short-chain carbohydrates store energy for immediate use. Medium-term storage. Lipids and starches hold high-energy density compounds for daily or weekly cycles. Long-term storage. Stable biopolymers store energy for months or years, ensuring energy availability in low light or seasonal periods. Rapid electrical buffer. Organic redox molecules act as temporary electrical capacitors to manage short-term energy surges or demand spikes. This layered storage approach ensures that energy is available in the correct form for every need, maximizing efficiency and reducing waste. Distribution network. Energy storage is useless unless energy can be moved efficiently. In a biological system, distribution is modeled after fungal mycelial networks in forests. Structure: chemical gradients direct energy flows. Conductive fungal fibers act as living wires, Moisture-stabilized channels enhance transport speed. Networks self-repair and reroute energy in case of damage. Advantages: this network is decentralized, self-healing, and highly efficient. Unlike electrical grids, which suffer from high losses over distance and require central control, mycelial networks adapt automatically to changing demand and supply. Waste recycling layer. In natural systems, no output is wasted. The most efficient biological energy system recycles all byproducts. Components: microbial decomposers break down unused organic matter. Detoxifying organisms neutralize harmful compounds. Carbon-fixing organisms capture residual CO2. Minerals and nutrients are returned to the energy capture layer. This closed-loop metabolism increases overall system efficiency and reduces environmental impact. Regulatory intelligence layer. To function efficiently at scale, the system requires dynamic regulation. In living ecosystems, this occurs naturally through chemical and electrical signaling. In a human-engineered system, it can be enhanced with digital monitoring and AI, while still relying on biological feedback loops. Functions: monitor energy production and storage levels, regulate growth rates of algae, plants, and microbes, adjust distribution paths in mycelial networks, ensure optimal nutrient cycling and detoxification. This integration ensures the system remains balanced, even under fluctuating environmental conditions. Structural integration. The most efficient system is not a discrete machine but integrated into living architecture. Roofs, walls, and floors are energy collectors and storage units. Wetlands, ponds, and soil beds act as natural batteries. Urban green spaces generate energy and process waste. By embedding the system into existing structures, energy production occurs wherever space exists, removing the need for centralized power plants. Comparison with conventional batteries. Traditional batteries, such as lithium-ion systems, degrade over time, require mining of finite resources, are toxic to the environment, store energy in a single chemical form. The biological energy system, by contrast, self-repairs, grows and improves over time, stores energy in multiple chemical forms, decentralizes energy, eliminates waste, and sequesters carbon. In terms of lifetime energy output per resource invested, this system far surpasses conventional industrial batteries. Scalability. The system is designed to scale naturally by growth, rather than by industrial expansion. Individual units, homes, buildings, farms, can integrate portions of the system, while urban districts can connect via mycelial networks. Over time, these nodes form a continuous energy metabolism that can span entire cities, regions, or even continents. The most efficient biological energy system and biological battery is living. Every component is alive or life-inspired. Adaptive, it adjusts to changing conditions automatically. Multi-layered, energy is stored in multiple chemical forms for various uses. Distributed, energy is generated and distributed locally, avoiding central failures. Closed loop, all waste is reused to generate more energy. Self-improving, like an ecosystem, it becomes more productive over time. Rather than being a device, it is a metabolic system, a living infrastructure that captures, converts, stores, distributes, and recycles energy continuously. City-scale implementation of a biological energy system. The city functions as a living, regenerative organism rather than an extractive, industrial settlement. Every building, street, and public space participates in energy capture, conversion, storage, and recycling. Energy flows continuously in chemical, electrical, and biological forms. Waste is transformed into energy and nutrients. The city is decentralized, resilient, and adaptive. The city is divided into interconnected layers: energy capture layer, conversion layer, storage layer, distribution layer, waste recycling layer, regulatory layer, urban integration layer. Energy capture layer features rooftop algae bioreactors, capture sunlight, CO2, and produce biomass. Facade phytoreactors, algae and cyanobacteria panels integrated into building surfaces. Urban green spaces, trees and shrubs engineered for high photosynthetic efficiency. Floating solar biofarms, on rivers, lakes, and canals to capture additional sunlight and CO2. Function: these capture energy in multiple forms simultaneously: sugars, lipids, hydrogen, and electrons. They maximize the total solar spectrum, unlike single-species solar arrays. Conversion layer features microbial conversion centers, localized hubs where microbial consortia convert biomass into electricity, hydrogen, biogas, and long-chain energy molecules. Community compost digesters transform organic city waste into energy. Anaerobic digesters process sewage and industrial organic waste into methane and fertilizer. Function: this layer converts energy captured in biomass into usable forms. It also detoxifies waste and transforms it into energy or nutrients, forming a continuous regenerative loop. Storage layer: biological battery network. Features layered storage, sugars for immediate use, lipids for medium-term use, biopolymers for long-term storage, and organic redox molecules for rapid electrical buffering. Soil-based energy reservoirs: underground soil microbial networks act as living batteries. Building integrated storage: walls, floors, and roofs contain energy-storing biomaterials. Function: energy is stored in multiple forms, ensuring the city always has sufficient power, regardless of sunlight, season, or daily consumption peaks. Distribution layer: features fungal mycelial networks, connect buildings, parks, and industrial areas to distribute energy and nutrients. Microbial electrical networks: small-scale, local electrical flows for immediate energy demands. Chemical gradients: energy-rich compounds transported via soil, water, and biopipes. Function: energy distribution is self-healing and adaptive. If one path is blocked, alternative routes automatically form. This mimics natural forest networks. Waste recycling layer: features microbial waste zones, citywide areas where waste and emissions are processed by specialized microbes. Carbon capture wetlands: natural and engineered wetlands absorb CO2 while providing habitat. Heavy metal absorption plants: strategically planted species extract toxins from soil and water. Function: this ensures zero waste. All materials are transformed into nutrients, energy, or materials for reuse. Regulatory layer: features chemical signaling networks, cells and microbes communicate energy needs naturally. AI monitoring systems: sensors measure energy capture, storage levels, nutrient flows, and system health. Feedback control loops automatically regulate microbial consortia, algae growth, and energy distribution. Function: this layer keeps the city balanced, resilient, and optimized without requiring centralized, human-driven energy management. Urban integration layer: buildings serve as solar collectors, storage units, and waste converters. Contain algae facades, bioplastic insulation, mycelium structures, and integrated organic batteries. Streets include soil bioenergy grids beneath pavements, green corridors for energy, water, and nutrient flows. Parks and wetlands act as carbon sinks, energy storage zones, and biodiversity hubs. Include ponds, engineered wetlands, and floating algae platforms. Industrial zones use living chemical factories powered by biomass and microbial conversion. Integrate waste directly into energy loops. Energy flow summary: sunlight to algae plant photosynthesis, biomass to microbial conversion to chemical electrical energy, energy to layered storage, energy to distributed via mycelium and chemical gradients, waste recycled into new biomass, energy, or nutrients. This forms a continuous closed-loop metabolism at city scale. Advantages: self-repairing and adaptive, city survives environmental disruptions. Carbon negative, captures CO2 continuously. Decentralized, no single point of failure. Waste-free, all materials recycled. Scalable, units can grow organically, from neighborhoods to entire regions. Energy-dense, multi-layer storage ensures constant supply. Expansion potential, multiple cities can be connected via regional fungal networks, carbon capturing wetlands, and biopipelines. This creates a planetary living energy system where energy, nutrients, and water flow continuously across ecosystems. Detailed explanation of the city-scale biological energy system. Multi-layer photosynthesis, energy capture layer. At the top of the system is multi-layer photosynthesis, which is responsible for capturing sunlight and carbon dioxide to produce energy. This layer combines multiple biological and bio-inspired systems, algae and cyanobacteria. These microorganisms grow quickly, can be cultivated in vertical panels, rooftop bioreactors, or floating farms, and efficiently convert sunlight into biomass, hydrogen, sugars, and even electrons for direct electricity. They capture energy across a range of light wavelengths, increasing total energy efficiency. Green plants, trees, shrubs, and crops in urban gardens and parks provide additional photosynthetic capacity. They store energy as sugars and starches, provide shade, and sequester carbon. Biofilm solar cells: these are bioengineered surfaces that mimic photosynthesis or enhance light absorption through living films. They produce energy in the form of electrons or chemical gradients. The outputs of this layer: sugars, oils, hydrogen, and electrons, are then fed into the next stage for conversion and storage. Microbial conversion layer, energy transformation. The microbial conversion layer acts as the city's metabolic engine, turning captured energy into usable forms. It consists of biorefinery facilities, large-scale systems where algae, plant biomass, and other organic matter are converted into chemical fuels, oils, and high-energy molecules. Anaerobic digesters, these units process organic waste, sewage, and food scraps into biogas, methane, and nutrient-rich byproducts. The microbial conversion layer transforms raw biological energy into multiple usable energy forms, including chemical energy for storage, electrical energy for immediate use, and fuels for transportation or heating. It also detoxifies organic waste, creating a closed-loop system where nothing is discarded. Biological battery core, energy storage. At the center of the system is the biological battery core, which stores energy in multiple layers: sugar battery, quick energy, short-term storage using fast metabolizing sugars and simple carbohydrates. This allows immediate access to energy for quick demands. Lipid battery, dense storage, medium-term storage using high-energy density fats and oils derived from algae or plants. Ideal for daily energy cycles and high-demand periods. Biopolymer battery, long-term reserve, stable polymers that store energy over months or seasons. This ensures energy availability during periods of low sunlight or high demand. Organic redox cell, electrical buffer, specialized molecules or proteins act as rapid electrical storage and discharge units, smoothing short-term fluctuations in energy supply or demand. By using multiple chemical storage forms, the battery core achieves far higher efficiency and resilience than any single-type industrial battery. Mycelial energy network, distribution layer. Energy must be transported efficiently across the city. The mycelial energy network uses fungal mycelium and conductive hyphae to distribute energy. Fungal mycelium serves as a living network connecting different energy nodes, including homes, buildings, and conversion facilities. Conductive hyphae channels electrical or chemical energy across distances. Energy distribution. The system is self-healing and adaptive. If a pathway is blocked, the mycelium reroutes energy automatically. This decentralized network mirrors natural forest ecosystems, eliminating single points of failure and enabling the city to distribute energy dynamically and efficiently. Waste recycling layer. The waste recycling layer ensures that no material or energy is lost. Microbial decomposers, specialized organisms digest leftover biomass, human waste, and industrial organic matter, producing additional energy or nutrients. Carbon fixation and detoxification. Microbes, plants, and wetlands capture CO2 and other pollutants, preventing environmental damage. Nutrient cycling. Minerals and nutrients are returned to the energy capture layer or used in agriculture, completing a regenerative loop. This layer allows the system to function without waste, turning the city into a living ecosystem. Sensors and regulation layer. Even living systems require regulation to optimize efficiency. In the diagram, this layer is represented as AI and biosensors, monitor energy production, storage levels, microbial health, and nutrient cycles. Feedback control loops, adjust growth rates, distribution flows, and conversion efficiency in real time. This ensures the system maintains balance, adapts to changing sunlight, temperature, and consumption patterns, and maximizes energy efficiency across the city. Urban integration, home, wetland, soil. The system is fully embedded into urban infrastructure. Homes, buildings act as living energy nodes, incorporating solar photosynthetic surfaces, organic battery walls, and soil or wetland energy storage beneath foundations. Wetlands and ponds serve as natural energy reservoirs, carbon sinks, and water treatment zones while also hosting microbial and algal energy systems. Soil networks. Soil microbes store energy chemically and transport it to nearby buildings or urban farms, integrating energy, water, and nutrient flows. Through integration, the entire city becomes a continuous living system, where energy capture, storage, distribution, and recycling are spatially and functionally intertwined. Energy flow summary. Sunlight is captured by algae, plants, and biofilms. Captured energy is converted by microbial and biorefinery processes into sugars, lipids, biopolymers, hydrogen, and electrical currents. Energy is stored in the biological battery core for immediate, medium-term, and long-term use. Energy flows through mycelial networks and soil conduits to buildings, industry, and infrastructure. Waste products and byproducts are recycled by microbes in plants, Completing a closed-loop metabolism, AI and biosensors continuously regulate system performance to optimize efficiency. System advantages: self-repairing and adaptive, repairs itself after damage. Decentralized, no single failure can collapse the system. Closed-loop, zero waste. Carbon negative, sequesters more CO2 than it emits. Scalable, works from single neighborhoods to entire metropolitan regions. Multiform storage, sugars, lipids, polymers, and organic redox molecules store energy for any time scale. This diagram represents a fully integrated city-scale biological energy system. It merges natural processes, photosynthesis, microbial conversion, fungal distribution, waste recycling, and nutrient cycling, with human-designed regulatory and infrastructural layers. Energy is captured, converted, stored, and distributed in multiple forms, creating a resilient, regenerative urban ecosystem. Rather than being a static network of power plants and batteries, this city functions as a living organism, continuously capturing energy, adapting to environmental changes, recycling materials, and providing abundant energy for all urban needs.